Tim.
Join me, Scott Laughlin, and Gord Stellick, along with former NHLer Mike Johnson for NHL Morning Skate, weekday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
This is Molson Leafs Hockey.
About to bring the war right now. Sound the alarm.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network. There's a Molson with your name on it.
Welcome back to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Eilish Forfar and Justin Cuthbert get you set for Hurricanes facing the Maple Leafs here at Scotiabank Arena. As a reminder, it is the Hall of Fame celebration tonight, so we will have an extended on-ice ceremonies in about 4 minutes, so we will get you set for that. We'll speed through our obligations so you can listen in live.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Congratulations to those that are going in. Tough test tonight for the Maple Leafs. The Carolina Hurricanes are pretty much the bar, right? So the bar presents itself in the second half of a back-to-back. They did play last night as well, but it's always tough when Carolina comes to town.
Well, let's get to your key to victory, brought to you by Rona. Rona knows the game we love is hard on the home, so make sure your home is ready to take on hockey season.
Well, Dennis Hildeby was thrown into net last night against, or with Anthony Stolarz needing to be lifted for the first time in his Maple Leafs career. So Hildeby doesn't get ideal circumstances for his first start of the season, but he needs to thrive regardless. The Carolina Hurricanes present puck pressure, so Hildeby needs to stand up to it. Stolarz called it a crap situation he's in, and he's got to deal with it the best he can. Let's go to the Player to Watch, presented by Bet365. Download the app and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
All right, I'm going to go with Nick Robertson. He's been red hot as of late, 6 points those last 5 games. I think he's feeling good. When Nick Robertson's feeling good, he puts the puck in the net. Plus 350 for an anytime goal. And then I'm going to piggyback on your key to victory and kind of hedge it. Hildeby over 30 saves plus 180. That means that the Maple Leafs are giving up a lot of shots, which is what we talked about in the pregame show about the defensive structure. But also, he makes over 30 saves at plus 180.
Okay, perfect. We are a couple minutes away. We don't actually have the firmed up lines yet, but we know there's going to be a change because Scott Laughton failed to finish last night's game, a loss to the Boston Bruins.
We can see them in the hallway.
They're in the hallway. If you can find Sammy Blais, then we know for sure that he's playing. But we'll wait for the full lines. But we know Scott Laughton will not be part of them in just his second game back for the Maple Leafs after coming into the season with an injury. Got banged up pretty good.
That's Kalle Yarncroke.
Nikita Zadorov. So no Laughton. We'll see officially who comes in. Eilish is doing her best investigative work, but I will wait till the Leafs actually tell us who's going to play.
Yeah, I think that's fair. You can't trust my video analysis of them walking through a corridor, but nonetheless, we'll get the official lines before we send it to Jim and Joe, or maybe we'll get them when the game starts. It's a mystery to us both. We're excited to get to see the Hockey Hall of Fame induction ceremony tonight, which I think will be special. The crowd looks like it's filling in really well. A couple Leafs connections, as Justin and I talked about. Former Maple Leafs going to the Hall of Fame tomorrow night. This is one of the special games on the schedule, so we're excited to be here.
Yeah, and Joe Thornton getting inducted in the Hall of Fame this weekend. We know of the ties between Joe Thornton and the Toronto Maple Leafs, but pretty cool that Austin Matthews, captain of the Maple Leafs, has broached such a pretty cool friendship with the future Hall of Famer. I guess he's a current. No, he's got to say, he's got to get the plaque and all that and say his speech before we can actually put him in there.
As close as you can get is tonight.
Very, very cool that Thornton gets to be here tonight because we know this stop meant a lot to him, and certainly his relationship with Matthews means a lot to both of those two guys.
All right, we can see them rolling out the blue carpet. I'm assuming that in 20 seconds, I will be just throwing it to the on-ice ceremonies, and our lovely technical team here just takes the in-arena feed, and everyone gets to hear it. Sound about right?
As they continue to unfurl, we can let you know that
furling.
Brandon Bussey will start for the Carolina Hurricanes tonight.
Bussey.
Brandon Bussey is making his 5th appearance for Carolina. Peter Kochetkov is on his way back from injury, so maybe last chance for Brandon Bussey to make a big impact on the Hurricanes. We'll see if he can do that against the Leafs tonight.
All right, I think it's time. Let's send it to the Hockey Hall of Fame game induction ceremony on the ice tonight. The class of 2025 entering the ice right now.
The Toronto Maple Leafs are proud to host the annual Hockey Hall of Fame game. Tonight, here at Scotiabank Arena, we will welcome honored members and, for the first time, present the 2025 Hall of Fame induction class. And now, we welcome honored members of the Hockey Hall of Fame. An Olympic champion, a 7-time world champion, and one of the first women inducted into the Hall of Fame, Geraldine Heaney. A 9-time Stanley Cup champion, Conn Smythe Trophy winner, and named one of the NHL's 100 greatest players of all time, Serge Savard. A member of the IIHF Hall of Fame, Canada's Sports Hall of Fame, and one of the first 2 women inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame, Angela James. A 6-time NHL All-Star and named one of the NHL's 100 greatest players of all time, Peter Stastny. A 6-time Stanley Cup champion and 4-time NHL All-Star, Glenn Anderson. A 700-goal scorer, 7-time NHL All-Star, and chairman of the Hockey Hall of Fame, Mike Gartner. A 500-goal scorer and Stanley Cup champion, Lanny McDonald. An Olympic and world champion and the Toronto Maple Leafs franchise leader in goals, Mats Sundin. And now, the 2025 Hockey Hall of Fame inductees, starting with the Builders category. A coach, a mentor, and a true architect of collegiate hockey, his legacy is etched in the history of Boston University. Over 4 decades behind the Terriers bench, he guided his team to 3 national championships, 24 NCAA tournament appearances, and 897 career wins, making him one of the winningest coaches in NCAA history. Beyond the trophies, he shaped generations of collegiate players with his passion, discipline, and commitment to developing leaders on and off the ice. A legendary teacher, pillar of the college game, and a builder of champions. Now inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in the Builder category, Jack Parker. A former police officer turned hockey coach, she brought discipline, heart, and drive to the bench, guiding Team Canada to Olympic gold in 2002, inspiring a new era of excellence. Her impact extended far beyond the ice. As a mentor, executive, and advocate for women in sport, she helped build pathways for future generations of players and coaches, including in her current role as general manager of the PWHL's Montreal Victoire. Now, she's the first woman inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in the Builder category, Danielle Sauvageau. And now, the player category. A trailblazer both on and off the ice, he broke barriers and electrified fans with his speed, skill, and pure scoring touch. Defecting from the Soviet Union in 1989 to join the Buffalo Sabres, he became the first Russian player to captain an NHL team, paving the way for generations to follow. A member of the prestigious Triple Gold Club, he captured an Olympic gold medal, a world championship, and the Stanley Cup. In 1992-93, he tied for the NHL goal-scoring lead with an astonishing 76 goals, one of the most dynamic offensive seasons in league history. Unable to attend this evening, inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in the Players category, Alexander Mogilny. Standing tall in every sense of the word, he was a towering presence and a defensive force who commanded respect every time he stepped on the ice. Drafted by the New York Islanders in 1996, his career rose to new heights in Boston, where he captained the Bruins for 14 seasons, winning the Norris Trophy as the league's top defenseman in 2009, and ultimately leading them to a Stanley Cup championship in 2011. Known for his legendary strength, unyielding work ethic, and stellar leadership, he played over 1,600 NHL games and set the standard for professionalism and dedication to hockey. Inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in the players category, Zdeno Chara. A fierce competitor and elite playmaker, she defined American women's hockey with her relentless drive and unrivaled hockey IQ. A three-time Olympian and six-time world champion, she helped lead Team USA to Olympic gold in 2018 and silver in 2014 and 2022, leaving everything on the ice every time she donned the iconic stars and stripes. Known for her vision and playmaking ability, she was a trailblazer in the women's game, a Clarkson Cup champion, a CWHL MVP, and one of the founding members of the Professional Women's Hockey Players Association. Now inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in the players category, Brianna Decker. Known for his relentless drive and unmatched competitive fire, he was the heartbeat of a Stanley Cup dynasty and one of the most complete defensemen of his era. Drafted by the Chicago Blackhawks in 2002, he became a cornerstone of their modern resurgence, winning 3 Stanley Cups, 2 Norris trophies as the NHL's best defenseman, and the Conn Smythe Trophy as playoff MVP in 2015. His endurance and two-way excellence defined a generation of blue liners. Internationally with Team Canada, he captured 2 Olympic gold medals, cementing his status among the game's elite. Now inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in the players category, Duncan Teeth. A model of excellence, dedication, and grace, she was one of the most decorated and respected players in women's hockey history. A 3-time Olympic gold medalist and 5-time world champion, she consistently rose to the occasion on the biggest stages, delivering clutch performances for Team Canada. Known for her relentless work ethic, intelligence, and leadership, she inspired teammates and fans alike, setting a standard of professionalism that extended far beyond the rink. Now inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in the players category, Jennifer Botterill. Affectionately known as Jumbo Joe, he combined size, vision, and pure playmaking genius to become one of the most productive forwards in NHL history. Drafted first overall by the Boston Bruins in 1997, he found his true home in San Jose, where he became the heart and soul of the Sharks franchise for over a decade. He amassed over 1,500 points across 25 NHL seasons, winning the Art Ross Trophy along with the Hart Trophy as NHL MVP in 2006. His unselfish approach to the game, along with strong leadership qualities, endeared him to teammates and hockey fans worldwide. Now inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame into the players category, Joe Thornton. We now ask Jordan Stahl, captain of the Carolina Hurricanes, and Austin Matthews, captain of your Toronto Maple Leafs, to join our Hockey Hall of Fame inductees at center ice for tonight's ceremonial puck drop. Thank you. Fans, once again, the newest members of the Hockey Hall of Fame.
All right, welcome back to Molson Leafs Hockey here on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Ailish and Justin, as we are watching the end of the Hockey Hall of Fame induction ceremony there. It was lovely. It was touching.
Big hug, Austin Matthews.
It was very
and Joe
sweet.
Thornton. Very cool.
A lot of, you know what, you're not supposed to cheer in the press box, but I was cheering, so sue me.
Were you tearing up a little bit, too?
Oh, it's just like really
It's very
cool to
emotional.
see. You know, not a lot of women are in the Hockey Hall of Fame, and it's really amazing to see that. We're going to send it over to Puck Drop with Joe Bowen and Jim Ralph next. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio.
But the other thing that Connor McDavid has earned is he's earned a voice in what happens with the team. Where are you guys headed? What are you guys doing? I need to know, because he made it very clear in his comments, I want a chance to win and win again. That doesn't mean he gets final say. They need to listen to Connor McDavid. They need to express their views to Connor McDavid.
Get the latest opinion and analysis you need on the home of hockey, NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. Under review.
And stop making excuses for bad goaltending. And is it bad? Is it horrendous? If you don't win because you don't make a save or two, yeah. The nature of it is the goaltender is responsible for 90% of the action. He's got to stop the puck. Why do we keep making apologies for goaltending? Stop it.
Under review with Mick Kern, 11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
Winnipeg Jets head coach Scott Arniel. Has that number changed with the Olympics compressed schedule for Connor Hellebuck?
He keeps pushing for 82 games, certainly with this year and what's kind of going on. It is something that we seriously have to look at, and if we want to play well into June and to make that run to the Stanley Cup, I need a guy that's going to be able to be fresh for that whole stretch.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. We deliver the NHL.
Head coach of the Carolina Hurricanes, Rod Brind'Amour. What's the mental approach to get to the dance?
Every year you start the same.
Pushed up on the wing, the Leafs do not get the puck out, and a turning move and a shot is deflected and blocked there by McCabe. McCabe can't get it out. Now in an emergency dump out, but quickly shot right back in again by Carolina. Benoit around the boards to the near side. A quick pass, and here the Leafs in across the line, dropping it back for Michelli. Michelli looking for Roy, who was in front of the net. Nylander is able to poke it into the corner, but couldn't get the puck from Roy. Roy has it up against the boards. Nylander trying to fish it free, but he couldn't. And now Carolina trying to get it out, but the Leafs keep it in. Matthews sending it into the side of the goal. Cut off there again, and now a nifty little pass between the legs springs Jackson Blake, who gets it down into the Toronto end. Riley is around back of the Toronto goal. Leafs have the only shot on goal thus far in the game. A pass into the slot, Nylander's in, it scores! A long stretch pass to Nyes, and Willie Stiles finds an opening and opens the scoring, and the Leafs get the opener in back-to-back nights.
And that long stretch pass, Joe, is Morgan Riley behind the Leaf net. Takes a step to his right and then fires it off the right wing boards, where Matthew Nyes skates into it, takes it down the right wing side, crosses the line, and then just dumps it to open ice, where Willie Nylander skates into it around the hash marks, fake shot, and a crafty little forehand backhand deke as the Leafs in front 1-0. So like they did last night, they score the first goal of the game. You would hope the defensive side will be much better in response.
7th goal of the year, 22nd point of the season for Willie Nylander. And the Maple Leafs open the scoring as a long lead pass is cut off there by Myers. He shot it out at center where it was grabbed off by Bobby McMahon. He'll drop it back to the defense, and it's pushed ahead and now turned over again and sent back into the Leaf end. McCabe got it ahead and down into the offensive zone. It goes for Robertson. Left there for Tavares, back of the net. Robertson pushed it to the far corner, couldn't get it away, and it's cleared by Carolina to center ice. On the near side, banked in over the line, but out of the way of Tavares. He knocks down a clearing attempt. The linesman says that his skates were outside the blue line on a close play, whistle down offside.
By the way, John Tavares skating in his 1200th NHL game tonight. It's a pretty good month of milestones, wasn't it? 500th goal.
Talk about consistency.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just bank on 30 to 40 goals a season. The points are there.
And you keep thinking, is this the year? I remember, I was one of them saying when that contract hits, year 7.
Yep.
What kind of player are you going to have in Toronto? And he's
just about the same one you had when you got
year
him,
1.
right?
Yeah.
Shot down into the Carolina zone. A pass off the glove of Nylander, but the Hurricanes get to the zone and in. Backhand attempt by Aho was blocked. It comes back to the blue line, and a wrist shot went wide. Aho trying to keep it in but can't. And it's come into the neutral zone. And now Carolina not waiting long enough to get teammates out as Sean Walker brought it in offside. 13:36 to play first period. The Leafs have drawn an early goal to make it 1-0. And you're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
It's Jimmy Fallon, and I'm back. Get ready for the holidays with my exclusive Sirius XM channel full of classic holiday songs handpicked by me.
Simply having a wonderful Christmas time.
Jimmy Fallon's Holiday Seasoning Radio. It's super fun. Check out Channel 15 on Sirius XM. Get seasoning now through December 26th live.
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio.
But the other thing that Connor McDavid has earned is he's earned a voice in what happens with the team. Where are you guys headed? What are you guys doing? I need to know, because he made it very clear in his comments, I want a chance to win and win again. That doesn't mean he gets final say. They need to listen to Connor McDavid. They need to express their views to Connor McDavid.
Get the latest opinion and analysis
from Nyes and Riley.
Well, that's 10 straight games now for Willie Nylander with at least a point. 6 goals and 17 points.
We're going to get this rule changed, aren't we? We're going to get it changed. Lead pass for Domi was just out of his reach. Legault gets it up on the right wing, and here's Sean Walker in, dropping it off on the wing for Taylor Hall. A shot right on, a big rebound in front of the goal. Down is Hildeby. And the big goaltender's got the left mid on top of it, and he's going to hold on.
So this whole play that gets the Leafs in trouble, they get 3 forwards chasing the puck in front of the Carolina bench. One pass later, and you got the Hurricanes, on the right wing side. And Dennis Hildeby with the puck bouncing dangerously in the blue paint is able to sprawl and get a hold of it.
Draw one by Carolina. Shot kicked away nicely by the left pad of Hildeby. Down into the corner it goes, centered again, coming to the net. Hildeby a save and covers it up.
Well, at least just able to get a stick on this. That was Kelly Yarncroc on the back check. So a little bit of stick on stick that had the puck kind of bounce harmlessly into Hildeby to get another face-off. Now very quickly, Carolina out shooting the Leafs 4-2.
Face-off won by Carolina. Long shot goes well wide of the net. And the Leafs push it out into neutral ice. It'll be banked back into the Toronto zone. Myers on the wall. Got it freed up. Tavares able to look out, Johnny. The bomb doors were open there. Good thing I warned him. Now a poke check by Hildeby knocks it into the corner. Goes into the far side. I didn't know he could hear me that well.
I'm pretty sure they can hear you in Mississauga, Joey. Let's start the roast early.
Yeah. Played around back of the net for Taylor Hall. Pinned to the boards by Myers.
Craig Berube not thrilled with this call.
Now, as bad as the Maple Leafs have been on the power play, the Carolina Hurricanes have been worse.
Yeah, 30th overall in the league, just 5 for 39, and we shouldn't say that before.
No,
before
probably not, but better
play.
get it in.
They were 1 for 2 in Buffalo last night, but just 2 for 10 in their last 5.
Meanwhile, the Leafs power play looked like it might be.
I mean, you could almost say as the Leafs cleared off the faceoff, you could almost say there were 3 power play goals, right?
Yeah.
Because one was scored 4 seconds after the Boston penalty expired.
Leafs have iced the puck, brought out at center by Seth Jarvis. Played in on the left wing. Stopping up over there is Nikolai Ehlers. Back to the point it comes. Near side for Svechnikov. Centering pass. Rolls in on goal. And it trickled into the blue paint. And Hildeby was quick to pounce on it. And there'll be a face-off coming in the Toronto zone. Joseph Woll played for the Marlies yesterday. He's expected to have a couple of games down in the minors.
Played 36 minutes. Actually, scoreless first period. They took him out after he gave up the 3rd goal of the 2nd period. But from what I understand, it was planned that he was going to play half the game.
Yep. At the point, Miller to the left wing side. A pass back into the slot. They score! A one-timer from Sebastian Aho. And the power play that has been dormant for the Carolina Hurricanes clicks quickly here to tie the game at 1.
This was a great pass from the left wing boards. That's after Aho starts it off by winning the draw. Goes D to D, and I mean the pass from almost top of the circle on the left wing side is perfectly to the right wing dot, and Aho just a little half slapper rifles it over the left shoulder of the Leaf netminder, and very quickly Carolina's tied it at 1.
Aho's 6th of the year, first by way of the power play.
Not a lot Hildeby could have done on that.
No, Nylander gets the puck to his defenseman back of the goal. Brandon Carlo under pressure, got it ahead to Riley to Nylander. Nylander looks up ice with a pass ahead for Matthews. It was pushed back to the Leaf zone. Nylander skating back to it, finds Morgan Riley. Riley coming to center with a pass ahead. Matthews is in. Matthews dropping it back, but it was out of the reach of Nyes. And the Carolina Hurricanes send it to center, and then it's shot in. Nyes was spun around as he was interfered with trying to get in over the line. The puck comes in front. Now here's Riley holding. Tried to get a shot away, and it caromed off the skate of Kotkaniemi and went harmlessly wide. Kept alive now by the Leafs, and unable to keep it in is Nylander. And here is Kotkaniemi getting it down into the Toronto zone, but quickly turned back by the Leafs and in over the line. Roy going down into the corner. He can't come up with the loose puck. A hit on the boards and a good one there by Joshua as it comes to center ice, and it is grabbed off now by Roy as the Leafs regroup. A pass, exploding stick there by Myers, but the Leafs get it in over the line, and it is knocked away and cleared to center ice. Carlo will rip it back in, but the Leafs have to tag up and now do. DeAndre Miller is back of the goal for Carolina. Game tied 1-1 halfway through period number 1.
Leafs have not had a shot on goal since Nylander scored at the 5-minute mark.
Played out at center ice. Backhanded in over the line by Joshua, but quickly cleared by Carolina back into the Toronto zone. Looked like it might have been an icing, but it's not. Benoit runs into a traffic jam. Centering pass right on, and a quick shot. Swallowed up by the Leaf netminder, and that will stop play with 9:27 left to go here in period number 1, and we are tied at 1. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
With the NHL app, you can listen to every NHL game right from your phone. And with home and away broadcast feeds, you choose your way to listen. Whether you're at work, at the gym, or stuck in traffic, the NHL app puts you right in the action all season long. Every team, every game, everywhere you go. Download the NHL app and never miss a moment.
With City TV Plus, you can stream more of the shows you love from television's biggest brands.
We're going the distance on entertainment.
FX, HGTV, Bravo, Food Network, Discovery, ID, and more.
It's all killer, no filler.
There's a whole lot more drama, more true crime, more lifestyle, more reality.
Can I have the crazy pill that y'all took?
There's
an official betting partner of the NHL. Must be 19 or older, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca. T&Cs apply.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
Domi in front for Tavares. He scores!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
.9:27 to play, first period, a 1-1 tie between the Leafs and the Carolina Hurricanes, who have 9 shots, and as you mentioned, the Leafs' second shot beat goaltender Brandon Busey, but they've not had one since. Leafs win this face-off. Carried out at center then by McCabe, tipped in over the line. Nylander racing after it, but had it knocked away. Who's been very busy here now with 10 shots, but Carolina in the last, well, since Rod Brindamore's been their coach, historically leads the league in shots on goal, which isn't a bad thing.
No. They've also had a lot of success. I mean, they haven't been able to get back to the Stanley Cup Finals since winning it in 2006.
Yeah, that long.
After the lockout. But are always competitive. Always seem to be
right
through the second round or into the conference finals.
Centering pass intercepted. Domi starts out with it. Getting to center. Yarncrook flips it in. And the puck goes around the boards. Leafs are going to get there to play it back. And then Domi trying to come out in front for a wraparound. Had it knocked off his stick. And it is cleared down the ice. And there'll be an icing charge here against the Carolina Hurricanes. And so it will come back into the zone. Stephen Lorenz, Scott Lawton, and Dakota Mermis are the scratches tonight. Lawton, of course, injured last night on a collision and
Lawton
bit of an elbow, right?
It was hard to really get a great look at the replay, but you could certainly see where the elbow extended through Scott Lawton. That's sort of where you get an icing here right off the face. So that's sort of where you struggle with saying, okay, if it's a cheap hit, you want your guy to stand up for you. But if the referee deems that it was a good hit, and because we're all for hitting in hockey still, right?
Yep.
But if you're Bobby McMahon, you don't really have a lot of time to go to the bench and say, hey, could I take a look at that on the iPad? And
then I'm coming out after you, yeah.
So it's very reactionary.
Face off in the Carolina zone. Busey, a left-handed goaltender, catches with the right hand. Here's Riley trying to drag it out in front. Unable to do so. It went back of the goal. Played into the near corner, and Domi is there for Toronto. Back of the net for Bobby McMahon, or at least for Blais, and he couldn't get it out in front. and it is going to be pushed out and down into Toronto territory, and Carolina will take the opportunity to change, and the Leafs are doing likewise. Oliver Ekman-Larsson, no worse for the wear after blocking that shot out there for Toronto. Still without Chris Tanev in the lineup, as the Leafs are going to punch it down into Carolina territory, still with just 2 shots on goal. 10 now for Carolina. High pass off a glove. That should be a glove pass. See how good I am at that? I called it from all the way up here.
No,
that went off his glove.
No, I'm not going to be. This isn't a smart-ass remark at all.
It probably will be.
Tomorrow I'm going to see you at the luncheon.
Yes.
Darryl Ray has been.
Yep. Foster Hewitt Award winner.
When you got the call, tell me about it and how you felt. I know we've discussed that before, but we hear players talk about it.
Yeah.
What was it like for you in that moment?
The black numbers on the red armbands are impossible to read at this distance, unless your eyes are better than mine. Here's Tavares, skating to center, got in over the line, poked the puck free, got a shot away, big rebound in front, another chance in front of the net, they score! Johnny Toronto ties the game!
Well, it's John Tavares that leads the rush. But great work by his line mates as well. As Tavares gets it into the zone, lets a wrist shot go from the left wing circle, and his line mates do the rest on the rebound. It was a big rebound by Busey off the left pad. Out the other way, Nick Robertson got a second chance at it. It then pops onto the stick of Bobby McMahon, who knows that John Tavares is wide open back door. And McMahon, a little backhand pass across the top of the crease, and Tavares easily ties this game at 2.
20th point already for John Tavares. That's his 9th goal of the season.
He's got points in 10 of his last 11 games, Joe.
Now here's the Leafs racing back in. Michelli back to the point. Benoit's shot got through. Knocked down by Busey, who is slow to get back into the goal crease as it comes to the line. Kept in by Toronto. They now have 6 shots as the puck goes back of the net. Swept in front of the goal. No one could get a stick on it. Kept alive by Benoit. His shot. What was Brandon Busey doing there? He did a cartwheel. Did you watch that? What did he do? It made it look like he tripped trying to go back into the net. Here the Hurricanes back in with a shot. That goes high over top of the Leaf goal. They're saying that it went into the screen, but no call. And the puck is back into the center ice area.
Bobby McMahon. And number 89, Nick
Robertson and McMahon draw the assists on the goal. Nye trying to get it ahead, but his pass was partially blocked, or he might have had Nylander on a breakaway. Puck back down around the boards, and Nylander has it and gets it ahead, and Nyes with one man back, one-on-one, trying to drive the net with a backhand, and that was stopped by Busey. Puck into the far boards, and it is Matthews trying to dig it free. Matthews pushes it back into the corner for Nyes. Nyes couldn't come up with it. Far side, Svechnikov is going to launch it high and get it down into the Toronto end. Leafs now with 9 shots on goal after that flurry. Matthews can't come up with a loose puck at the blue line. Leafs are changing with 2:40 to play in the period. Stolen at center ice by Toronto. Robertson sending it down into the zone. McMahon and Tavares onto it quickly. Tavares sidesteps one man, got it to McMahon. McMahon back in along the boards, and a penalty coming here to Carolina as it's played back to the blue line, kept in there by McCabe. Off of Tavares' stick in for McMahon. Back of the net, McMahon coming out in front of the goal, and it was knocked away, and there'll be a penalty here as it's touched by the Carolina Hurricanes.
Well, the Leafs got their shots on goal up in a hurry, right? It was 2 shots on goal for almost 15 minutes of this game, but then the Tavares rebound goal and a little more pressure from the Leafs have the shots down a little more respectable. 13-10 Carolina, but the Leafs when we mentioned we're 2 for 4 against Boston, I'll almost say 3 for 4, as one of those goals came 4 seconds after the Boston penalty had elapsed, so the Leafs still had the advantage when it went in. But it was actually the second unit, which was more impressive than the first. Tavares scored in the power play in the second period.
Draw to the right in the Carolina zone. Waved out is Jordan Staal, the veteran. Tavares taking the face-off.
Carolina penalties number 19.
Draw one there by Martinuk. Pushed into the corner. It's drawn a crowd of about 6 players. Finally comes free, and Staal is able to launch it out and down the ice.
You're right. These numbers are horrible on the sleeves, aren't they?
Oh, they're non-existent as far as I can tell you.
Black on red.
Yep. Here's Nylander starting out of his own zone. Stumbles a little bit as he hits the red line. Flips in on the right side for Tavares. Tavares runs into a traffic jam. Got it back to Morgan Rielly, who shot it just wide of the net. Nylander after the puck, trying to play it back into the corner for Nyes. And it is launched down the ice by Carolina. Minute 28 left in the period. 1:14 left in this power play. Nylander lets Rielly carry to center. Then the drop pass comes to him. And now across the line, Nylander to the near side for Nyes. Back to Rielly. Settles, got a shot away. Puck comes in front of the net, but not blocked. And now the Leafs have it back at the blue line. Nylander off a skate to Matthews. Matthews in front for Tavares. Tavares to Willie. Score! Second of the period, 8th of the year. Willie Nylander on the power play. The lead seesaws back and forth, siding with an in, poked off a stick. 6 seconds left in the period. Tavares to center and tried to get it in on the right side, and Robertson gets nailed late, and Bobby McMahon comes over to take up his behalf, and we got gloves going flying one way, and Robertson is still down on the ice.
Yeah, I don't
know if he's hurt.
Robertson never touched the puck, so Carolina defenseman may have got a freebie in on the Leaf forward, and Bobby McMahon, who jumped in last night against Nikita Zadorov. Somebody's bleeding down there, Joe, pretty good.
Okay, I don't know how that.
Is that? Boy, it might have been Robertson may have taken McMahon's skate.
No, Robertson looks okay.
And we're thinking, is it the Carolina player, Legault, that might have been cut? Boy, you would certainly, I mean, there should have been a penalty on that. I still think it might have been Nick Robertson. Boy, Legault was pretty quick to drop the gloves.
Robertson just turtled and got his gloves over his head.
Yeah, but when McMahon first got there, I thought the skate was very close to the head of Nick Robertson.
Well,
but it looks like if you want to play a little detective work, it looks like that pool of blood is heading towards the Carolina bench or dressing room.
All right, I think you're right. At any rate, we'll sort it out when we can. But the Leafs, in a wild first period, have a 3-2 lead. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The fellow was very kind to let us know what was going on there. At any rate, it is 3-2 Leafs. We'll ship it off. Ailish Forfar and Justin Cuthbert coming your way. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
911, what is the emergency?
Here, around the clock. True crime.
This is Dateline.
New mysteries.
A mother vanishes just before Halloween.
New cases.
The bone-chilling case of the Menendez brothers.
New twists.
There was no way he was going to let this secret get out.
Who can you trust when everything you thought you knew is turned upside down?
People involved are in some pretty high positions.
Real people, real stories, real mysteries. Dateline 24/7, channel 107, and on the SiriusXM app.
Under review.
And stop making excuses for bad goaltending. And is it bad? Is it horrendous? If you don't win because you don't make a save or two, yeah. The nature of it is the goaltender is responsible for 90% of the action. He's got to stop the puck. Why do we keep making apologies for goaltending? Stop it.
Under Review with Mick Kern, 11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
Winnipeg Jets head coach Scott R. Neal. Has that number changed with the Olympics compressed schedule for Connor Hellebuck?
He keeps pushing for 82 games. Certainly with this year and what's kind of going on, it is something that we seriously have to look at. And if we want to play well into June and to make that run to the Stanley Cup, I need a guy that's going to be able to be fresh for that whole stretch.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio.
But the other thing that Connor McDavid has earned is he's earned a voice in what happens with the team. Where are you guys headed? What are you guys doing? I need to know, because he made it very clear in his comments, I want a chance to win and win again. That doesn't mean he gets final say. They need to listen to Connor McDavid. They need to express their views to Connor McDavid.
Get the latest opinion and analysis you need on the home of hockey, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. Nothing puts you closer to the action than Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
St. Louis Blues General Manager Doug Armstrong, Alex Steen, speak to where that's at, the succession plan, and
he is going to be the manager after this season. You have to know when your expiration date is with the group, and I think it was time to be honest with myself that the organization itself needed to change, and we're excited to have Alex ready to take over.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91. We deliver the NHL.
Head coach of the Carolina Hurricanes, Rod Brindamore. What's the mental approach to get to the dance?
Every year you start at the same spot as every team, right? Like you're at the bottom of the mountain. And when we get to that point, if we can, then we can knock down the final kind of stretch of highway we haven't been able to cover. So let's make the best out of every day and play our ass off every night and see what happens.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
MLS, NWSL, the USL, and more covering the beautiful game here at home. American soccer lives on Sirius XM FC 157
and the Leafs Radio Network.
Nylander off a skate to Matthews. Matthews in front for Tavares. Tavares to Willie. Score! Second of the period, eighth of the year. Willie Nylander on the power play. The lead seesaws back and forth, siding with the Leafs 3-2.
Well, welcome back to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, the Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. A 3-2 lead for the Leafs after 20 minutes facing the Carolina Hurricanes on the Hockey Hall of Fame night tonight. And that was a couple Hall of Fame level goals out there tonight for the Leafs.
Yeah, Hall of Fame night, Hall of Fame talent, or at least maybe on the path towards it on the ice. I was like going through it, like trying to figure out how I felt about like the goals that we saw, whether to credit the offense or question the defense, because it felt like it came pretty easily to the 5 goal scorers, or the 5 goals in the game came fairly easily. But once I saw the Willie second goal, it's like, okay, there's some elite talent out there doing some pretty fun things. Never mind what we saw defensively, questionably, from both sides. So I guess it was Willie's period, scoring a beautiful breakaway goal and then putting a bookend on it with a great power play goal, one-timer from the slot, down on one knee. The celebration was full Willie, and the Maple Leafs have 3 goals and lead 3-2 after one. Pretty impressive period.
It was great to see them get on the scoreboard first. It's something they've been struggling with. Great goal by Willie, as you mentioned. I thought the Riley bounce pass from basically behind the net when he started that rush. Great seeing eye to get it up to Nyes, who's wide open, and then that 2-on-1. Beautiful goal by Willie.
And that's kind of my point on like the questionable defense. Like
there's a bit of both in that one.
He started a 2-on-1 by rimming it around
from
boards
the other end,
from behind his own net. Like you shouldn't get that.
I think there was a couple of mistakes out there, but it looked great.
Maybe there was something in tape. You got to give him credit.
That's true. So that was how the game started, 1-0 for the Maple Leafs. And then Sebastian Aho had a power play goal to make it 1-1. Then Jarvis got a goal. We talked about Jarvis on our show on Friday. Is he going to make the Olympic rebounds? And maybe the rebound control isn't the greatest with Bussy, but it was just really smart of them to stay by the net and dig it out and get it over from McMahon to John Tavares, and he's in the perfect spot. So I like that line. They're looking really good together, and that's kind of the way that I feel like they're going to score goals.
Yeah, I thought Bobby McMahon's stick handled himself out of a scoring chance when we were watching it, but then, he put a pass off his backhand onto the stick of Tavares, who had an easier finish than he would have had if he had stayed in position in front of the net. So maybe he didn't realize how good his chance was, but the read with Tavares was pretty good as well, and definitely worked out. McMahon's
a hot topic tonight.
Twice in as many nights, let alone games, I don't know if he only got a roughing call, but the gloves flung off again at the end of the period for Bobby McMahon. Legault.
He's a fighter now.
A depth defenseman, Charles Alexis Legault of the Carolina Hurricanes, just kind of drilled Nick Robertson from behind-ish as the period was winding down. McMahon steams in just as he did against Nikita Zadorov last night, and he was about to be in a fight, but it kind of got broken up by a mob of guys, and Legault was throwing punches and may have cut himself on the skate.
Yeah,
of
I tried
Nick
to
Robertson.
watch that replay. I think he's cut himself when Robertson gets hit and kind of falls
on
down
the ice. McMahon flies in.
He's kind of like, he's in the vicinity of Robertson's skate blade coming up, and that's where it cuts him, I think.
I thought Legault threw a punch downwards at McMahon and may have punched the skate, but I could be
maybe
wrong.
we can rewatch the tape. We can grind the tape, but I thought he was kind of like maybe off balance a little bit, and then Robertson's foot comes up and gets. Anyway, I hope he's all right. That sucks.
That may have what stopped the fight, because
he was bleeding
Legault was
everywhere.
definitely cut pretty bad in the midst of the skirmish at the end of the period.
But as you mentioned, Bobby McMahon, he's involved in a couple goals. Well, he's involved in the one I just mentioned with the John Tavares goal, but immediately jumping up for your teammate, which it wasn't like the biggest deal that Robertson kind of got. I think he was expecting to
It was
get
a little
hit.
cheap,
It was
but
a little cheap, but
there wasn't a penalty for it.
No,
so
it was like,
it wasn't the worst thing in the
I think he was also not expecting he went down kind of easy. Like, whatever. You can argue both sides. But to come in right away and try to defend your teammate, especially after, I think it was Anthony Stolarz earlier this month, or I guess last month, saying, we need to kind of stick up for each other and to do it. I was impressed. I think Bobby McMahon is definitely trying to make a name for himself, and I like the physicality, because who else is a big physical forward that is threatening, that's going to punch you or finish their check? Bobby's way up there for me.
Certainly. They don't have a laundry list of guys who will do it, but in the top 6, I know Matthew Nyes have defended himself before, but Bobby McMahon's probably going to have to wear a little bit of that, and it's not the prettiest thing, and I don't think it's the most comfortable for him, but he'll do it, and that's half the battle.
Well, why don't we take a quick break? We'll come back. We'll talk a little bit more about that first period, and the Leafs are leading 3-2. It's nice to say that. It's nice to say they're leading after
Scored first and erased a first period deficit. They're checking off all the boxes.
Those are keys to victory, if I say so myself. We'll take a quick break. We're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
With City TV Plus, you can stream more of the shows you love from television's biggest brands.
We're going the distance on entertainment.
FX, HGTV, Bravo, Food Network, Discovery, ID, and more.
It's all killer, no filler.
There's a whole lot more drama, more true crime, more lifestyle, more reality.
Can I have the crazy pill that y'all took?
There's more to stream and more to love.
Oh my God, I love it.
Get more entertainment with City TV Plus. Start your free trial today at citytvplus.ca.
Wherever Canadians raise a glass, you'll find Molson. There's a good reason for that. When you've been in Canada for over 230 years, you get around. In the cups and fridges of Canadians, generation after generation, Molson has a beer for everyone. So raise a glass, or cup, or whatever you pour your Molson in. Because it doesn't matter what it's in, it matters where it's from. Canadian, export, ultra, excel, Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Welcome back to Put Down That Phone. Time for our speed round. Players, you scroll 4 hours per day. Is that enough? Maybe.
Wow, yes.
Jen's bored. With just 1 hour back, what could you gain?
A hobby, human connection, time to create.
What device checks those boxes?
A real camera, the Canon R50V.
Bonus round. The world's most complete creator camera is the R50V. The V stands for
Video, vlogging, vision.
Canon makes cameras. The R50V's for creators. Visit canon.ca/create.
The fall get-together is here at Canadian Blood Services, which means it's the perfect time to grab your crew, hit up a donor center, and experience what you get when you give together. It's not just about donating blood and plasma. It's about showing up and feeling like we actually did something. Jesse, you're up. Awesome. Be right there. Book an appointment today at blood.ca and experience what you get when you give. Canadian Blood Services. Who's saving who?
Hockey. It's taken over our basements, our driveways, and our backyards. And at Rona, we wouldn't change a thing. That's why we make sure your home can take any hits hockey throws its way. So hockey can keep taking over your laundry rooms, your living rooms, your garages, your kitchens. Make sure your home is ready for hockey season with Rona. Build it right. Build it Rona.
With a Subaru, a vehicle that's built to last comes standard. Heated front seats? Standard. High ground clearance? Standard. EyeSight Driver Assist to help spot the scooter delivery guy texting, merging, and eating all at once? Ugh, standard. Parallel parking perfectly while someone watches? Uncommon. But in a Subaru? Standard-ish. Subaru. Uncommon comes standard. Hurry into your local Subaru dealership today for lease rates from 1.99% for 24 months on select models. And get great value that, you guessed it, comes standard. Conditions apply. See dealer for details.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
Now it goes to Tavares. He'll shoot it, and he scores!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Welcome back to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, the Fan of the Maple Leafs Radio Network. A 3-2 lead for the Maple Leafs after 20 minutes facing the Carolina Hurricanes on the Hockey Hall of Fame celebration night. Lots going on in the NHL, so let's take a look at the NHL scoreboard presented by Bet365. Download the app and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Okay, two finals already in the books. The Chicago Blackhawks got a 5-1 victory over the Detroit Red Wings. 3 more points for Connor Bedard in that one. The Kings had a 3-2 victory over the Pittsburgh Penguins. Corey Perry with a couple of points there. The Mammoth and Senators are 1-1 5 minutes into the second period. The Stars have a 2-1 lead over the Seattle Kraken. Flames and Wild currently scoreless 5 minutes into the game, and 2 more games to come tonight. A good one in Vancouver. Colorado and the Canucks will meet, and then the Jets will meet the high-flying Ducks. 10-3-1 are the Ducks. See if they can extend that record. Mark Scheifele and Leo Carlsson near the top of the points scoring race. We'll start on that one.
Near the top of the points scoring race is also William Nylander. Get 2 goals in the first period. I don't know which one I liked better. I think probably the 1T and the power play, like got down on one knee, did the hard celly. Like that was, you don't really see a lot of Willie one-timer from the point. Like it was a Matthews-esque area.
It was. Answered the one we saw from Sebastian Aho. It seems like the Leafs should be able to produce more moments like that, given the amount of talent on their power play, as we discussed ad nauseum. The only real negative from that period, other than a little shoddy defensively at points, Oliver Ekman-Larsson left the bench. Shot block earlier in the period. See if he comes back out.
We can't lose another defenseman.
Yep, already down Chris Tanev. Already using Philippe Myers.
Who's
in
next in
big
line?
Spots. Dakota Mermis, I think.
Oh, Mermsy.
We've seen some Mermis.
Yeah, we have seen some
We'll see more Mermis.
Well, maybe we'll just need a little breather, and he might be back for the second period. Yeah, I thought it was a great period for the Leafs. It was definitely a palate cleanser after last night's loss to the Boston Bruins. 40 minutes to go, and I think that they can continue to pour some goals in on Bussy.
Yeah, I don't know if we called it, but Brandon Bussy's not exactly giving the Carolina Hurricanes top-tier goaltending, I guess, through a period. But I think the Leafs are going to have to score a little bit more to win this game. This is going to be a high-scoring one. Leafs got to stay in front. They're going to have to keep filling the net on Bussy.
All right, it's 3-2 after 20 minutes. Jim Ralph and Joe Bone will have the call of the second period next. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The chase for the MLS Cup is on Sirius XM FC.
Messi with a left-footed ship, it's a brace.
Hear every postseason goal.
Thomas Muller! Oh, what a finish!
Every breathtaking moment. Until a champion is crowned.
Cue the celebration! Congratulations!
Follow the road to MLS Cup on Sirius XM FC 157 and streaming on the Sirius XM app. Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio.
But the other thing that Connor McDavid has earned is he's earned a voice in what happens with the team. Where are you guys headed? What are you guys doing? I need to know, because he made it very clear in his comments, I want a chance to win and win again. That doesn't mean he gets final say. They need to listen to Connor McDavid, and they need to express their views to Connor McDavid.
Get the latest opinion and analysis you need on the home of hockey, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. Nothing puts you closer to the action than Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
St. Louis Blues general manager Doug Armstrong, Alex Steen, speak to where that's at, the succession plan. And
he is going to be the manager after this season. You have to know when your expiration date is with the group, and I think it was time to be honest with myself that the organization itself needed to change, and we're excited to have Alex ready to take over.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
And the Leafs Radio Network.
Leafs carry a 3-2 lead into the second period of play, being outshot 12-10, but it was like 12-2 at one point. And the Leafs rallied with a couple of goals to restore the lead that they had engineered. And Willie Nylander has had a big-time hand in this with a couple of goals, one on the power play, goals number 7 and 8, and points number 22 and 23. Nylander has been outstanding. Matthews has struggled.
Yeah, just, they're... And the one thing you like about Matthews, so coming into the game, plus minus is great.
Plus 10.
Yeah, but you need a little more plus than the plus.
Yes, you'd like. So, Legault, who cut his hand in that scrap, as we get an icing call here to start the period.
Yeah, 4-on-4 to start with the incidental minors at the end of the opening period.
Leafs will travel to Boston on Tuesday night. We'll have that action for you right here on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Aho moving some players around, 4-on-4. He wants Sean Walker to be in the slot area to draw the puck back to. And Matthews leaning in, the linesman. And the draw is won by Carolina. Walker plays it down into the corner for Aho. He loses it there to Nylander, who's back of the net. Nylander waiting for things to clear, gets it off in the wing to Matthews. Matthews stick handles through center, drops it back for Willie. Willie had it spun away, then Matthews tried to steal it back, but Nylander, I think, grabbed on to the Carolina player and is going to get a holding call here.
I mean, this is tough because the player sort of stepped up into Nylander and spun him around.
We're going to call it hooking.
Well, I mean, it was a good defensive play, but I don't know if, it's a tight turn by Aho after he strips Nylander to the puck. All right. 4-on-3 for a minute 29, so a huge advantage here for Carolina.
Carolina scored on their first power play opportunity.
Sebastian Aho, who scored it, is out to take the draw again.
Matthews won it, but then it's knocked back to the blue line and controlled there by Ehlers. A shot from the point on the far side deflects wide of the Leaf goal. In along the boards, it's going to go around to Aho on the far half wall. He looks back to the point to Nikolai Ehlers. Ehlers with a shot coming, and that deflected just wide. Fanning on it initially there was McCabe, but he got it ahead to Matthews, who gets it out and down the ice. Carolina coming through center. The Coincident Miners up in 58 seconds. Walker gains the zone to Aho into the slot area, and a weak shot. His glove knocked to the open wing, and it is going to be shot down the ice by Brandon Carlo.
Boy, the Leafs chopped that up pretty good in front of their own net, didn't they?
Boy, it was hack, whack, and slash. You're right. Carolina to center. Aho gets it in on the right side. Looking back to the slot area. Ehlers dishes it off, gets it back again. Ehlers works to the right wing side. Aho over here on the near boards for Jarvis. Back to Ehlers, a shot blocked, and the Leafs push it to the line but don't get it out. There was a rush and then a shot is swallowed up by goaltender Hildeby, who bails his defenseman out there.
Well, I think
Jake McCabe thought about maybe there was a chance for an odd man or for a short-handed rush.
I don't know whether he was thinking of taking off with it and lost it or trying to put it up to Austin Matthews, but
changed his mind in mid-pass,
yes.
Which is never a good thing.
The old saying, when in doubt, don't.
Think you hurt the team, I think was Harry Neal's line. Face off to the right. 14 seconds in the Coincident Miners. Roy leaning in but loses the face off to Hall. Back to the point it comes to Miller. Miller to the far side, back to Miller, a wrist shot, juggled, swallowed up again by Hildeby. Good play there.
Going down to 4 seconds on the 4-on-3. Still 35 seconds left in the penalty to Willie Nylander. So a huge face-off coming up here.
Blake staying out there along with Logan Stankoven.
Yeah, Austin Matthews coming out to take the draw for the Leafs.
Taylor Hall out there as well. And the puck is dropped, but the Carolina Hurricanes win the face-off. Miller back at the point. Off onto the left wing side of centering. Pass alone off the goal post. It's wrong. And the Leafs are able to poke it out at center ice as McMahon back onto the ice for Toronto. The Leafs dodge a huge bullet there. It's played back into the Toronto zone, then forced up on the left wing and backhanded deep into Carolina territory. 10 seconds left in the power play, and that left goal post is a star right now. Here are the Hurricanes back in over the line. Penalty knocked away and pushed out at center ice, and out of the box is Nylander. Nylander trying to play it just into the goal crease area there, but out of the reach of Dakota Joshua, who is flattened back of the net by the Carolina defender. Brought back the other way by Taylor Hall. Hall gets in over the line but mishandled the puck, and now Riley will play it ahead, and the Leafs get Yarncrook in over the line only to lose it. A lead pass, breakaway chance, Carrier in on goal, off the goal post, rebound goes in front of the net, and it's still free, bouncing around. 2 goal posts in behind Dennis Hildeby. Talk about covering the angle perfectly, or really good luck. Around back on the far side.
I mean, the Leafs have got to, stop it. A number of odd man rushes. Yarncroc can't get it deep. 2 seconds later, it's a pass and a breakaway from the red line in.
McMahon trying to get it down into Carolina territory, could not. Back behind the net, Hildeby plays it back along the boards for Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Again, the Leafs fail to clear. Nikishin getting it to the side of the goal. Oliver Ekman-Larsson pumps it around the wall, and it comes to center ice. Almost too many men on the ice there. Over. Here's Roy for the Maple Leafs, sending it down into Carolina territory. Scooped along the boards by Busey, and out come the Hurricanes at center ice. Little move on the right wing side. Blake gets it off on the left wing, and fanning badly on that was Ehlers. Leafs will try to play it in over the line for Bobby McMahon. McMahon one-hands it down into the corner, but is ridden off the disc. It comes free for Roy. Roy back of the net for Robertson. He does a couple of moves there that looked like he was going to end up on Bay Street. Now the puck comes back to the blue line and is poked out, and here's another race. Partial breakaway going in, a goal! Another goal post, or did the blocking glove, I think, of Hildeby got there?
I think it was a post, and the Leafs are going to pick up another penalty on this after a giveaway. This time Nick Robertson tries, and it's again, how often, Joe, the Leafs have taken the puck back towards their own net. They've done it in their own end, and now they do it in the Carolina zone instead of keeping the puck deep. Nick Robertson tries to take it back out. And is it Jake McCabe, I believe, that is going off? Yeah, for interference.
Third power play opportunity coming up here for the Carolina Hurricanes, who are trailing the Maple Leafs 3-2. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Okay, category is ways Desjardins Insurance goes the extra mile to make insurance easy. First question, what are some of the things you can easily do online or in the app?
Oh, view your policy.
Add a new driver.
Oh, update your address when you move.
Easy. You guys are good.
Get insurance that's really big on care. Desjardins Insurance. Here for your home, auto, life, and business needs. Certain conditions apply.
With most Subaru models, all-wheel drive comes standard. Heated front seats, high ground clearance, Apple CarPlay, standard. Eyesight driver assist to help when you're distracted by fall foliage, standard. Guy announcing the radio ad now wanting a Subaru? Yeah, standard. Subaru. Uncommon comes standard. Hurry into your local Subaru dealership today for lease rates from 1.99% for 24 months on select models and get great value that, you guessed it, comes standard. Conditions apply. See dealer for details. Hey, seriously, can I get one?
With City TV Plus, you can stream more of the shows you love from television's biggest brands.
We're going the distance on entertainment.
FX, HGTV, Bravo, Food Network, Discovery, ID, and more.
It's all killer, no filler.
There's a whole lot more drama, more true crime, more lifestyle, more reality.
Can I have the crazy pill that y'all took?
There's more to stream and more to love.
Oh my God, I love it.
Get more entertainment with City TV Plus. Start your free trial today at citytvplus.ca.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
Domi! That was up the rebound. Scores! Max Domi!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
12:54 to go. Carolina to the power play again. And the Leaf coaching staff has got to be pulling their hair out. Attempted clear by Nyes, doesn't happen. It comes back to the blue line. Kept in there by DeAndre Miller. Left wing side for Ehlers. Shot in on goal, deflects wide of the net. Aho to the far boards, backhands it back of the net. Unable to center it in front was Jarvis. And now the Leafs get a hold of it. And Benoit's going to lead a shorthanded rush to center. And wisely just flips in and gets a change of players going.
That went off the referee's skate in the corner to the left of the Leaf goal. And you see the Carolina players staring down the official.
Here's a turnover, and now Roy, with not much skating room, is able to poke it deep. Chases his man, Miller, into the corner, but the Carolina Hurricanes will get things organized in their own zone and start out. Now look to drop it back, and they do. Aho gets a return pass, and they get it in on the right wing side for Svechnikov. Round on the boards, cut off there by Bobby McMahon. Draws a crowd in the corner, but it'll come back to the point. Ehlers holds and shoots, and it's swallowed up by goaltender Dennis Hildeby as one of the Carolina Hurricanes ends up piling on top of the Leaf netminder, and Ekman Larson taking exception to that.
There's Andrei Svechnikov grabbing a hold of Ekman Larson. I think on that last play, not trying to be hypercritical, you'd like to see Hildeby out a little further, Joe. I mean, he was pretty close to that goal line. You know, he takes up a lot of net, but he can seal off a lot more if you're out another foot or so.
Played around the boards, kept in at the far point by Blake. Dished off on the wing. Back to Blake it goes again. Blake works in with a pass across, and unable to get a one-timer away was Aho. Played back in along the boards. Trying to get to it, Sean Walker back to the blue line for Nikishin. Over on the far side once more, looking in front of the net, station there with Stankov, and now a shot. Whistles wide of the goal off the stick of Walker. Carolina, bad pass, is going to slide all the way down into Carolina territory. 18 seconds left in the power play. The Leafs hanging on to a 3-2 lead. Hurricanes back in their own zone. They've had good puck movement. You wonder why their power play isn't doing as well. And now the Leafs are able to push it back out at center ice. Out of the box comes Jake McCabe. shot to the blue line, knocked down and whistled down by the linesman on an offside at the Toronto blue line. 10:48 left, second period. And the Maple Leafs have a 3-2 lead on the Carolina Hurricanes.
Now, when the Leafs opened the scoring, Willie Nylander at the 5-minute mark, they then went almost 10 minutes without a shot on goal. Then they scored too late in the first period. The third one for the Leafs that put them ahead 3-2 is Willie Nylander at 19:01 of the third. As we near the midway mark of the second, the Leafs have only had one shot on goal since Nylander's second goal.
Chipped out at center ice. Domi one-hands it in over the line. And trying to keep it in there was Michelli, but to no avail. And now an offside at the Toronto blue line as things bogged down for the Hurricanes. And knocked down was Jordan Martinook, and he was offside. Little guy with his earmuffs on. He can't be more than half a year old probably at the hockey game with his mom.
Looks like he's enjoying it, though.
Yeah. Face off outside the blue line. Domi lost the draw. Carolina dumps it back into the Toronto zone. Hildeby playing it back around the boards. It'll come to the point, but not out. Banked in around to the near corner. Trying to center now with the puck is Martinook. It goes to the far side. Stalled, couldn't get to it, and then an errant pass is going to come all the way back into Carolina territory. Busey, the goaltender, to the near wall, and it's played out at center again, and Martinook will flip it high and get it into the Toronto end and peel to the bench. Brandon Carlo circles the lead goal. A bank pass ahead, trying to find Matthias Michelli, but it ends up going in the Toronto bench. We are halfway through this evening's proceedings. 9:52 to play. The Leafs 3, Carolina 2. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
You're driving. They're honking. You're driving. They're screaming. You're driving. Change your mood. With SiriusXM Comedy, they're honking. You're laughing. From the newest Netflix specials to the kings of Southern comedy, Jeff Foxworthy and Larry the Cable Guy. From uncensored Kevin Hart to clean comedy to quiet them kids, SiriusXM Comedy has it all. Channel 93 to 99 on your SiriusXM radio and on the SiriusXM app.
Under review. And stop making excuses for bad goaltending. And is it bad? Is it horrendous? If you don't win because you don't make a save or two, yeah. The nature of it is the goaltender is responsible for 90% of the action. He's got to stop the puck. Why do we keep making apologies for goaltending? Stop it. Under review
with Mick Kern.
11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio.
SiriusXM 91 and the SiriusXM app. The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
Winnipeg Jets head coach Scott Arniel. Has that number changed with the Olympics compressed schedule for Connor Hellebuck?
He keeps pushing for 82 games, certainly with this year and what's kind of going on. It is something that we seriously have to look at, and if we want to play well into June and to make that run to the Stanley Cup, I need a guy that's going to be able to be fresh for that whole stretch.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91 and the SiriusXM app. The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind, wrist the line, and walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM. Leafs Radio Network.
John Tavares playing his 1,200th game, gets his 502nd goal of his career. And the Maple Leafs have a 3-2 lead over the Carolina Hurricanes.
Scouting, Joey. He's taken 35th. Overall in the 2015 draft. He has the 4th most points from the 2015 draft class, only behind McDavid, Marner, and Rantanen. So pretty good for a
good
pick
drafting,
that late.
Yep. Stahl trying to center, deflects into the near corner. Miller tries to work it back at the net and does. And it's chipped up on the wall. Carrier couldn't keep it in, but Stahl does. And now the Leafs will poke it ahead. Matthews coming to center. He'll launch it in, bouncing puck that goes off the goaltender's glove. Nylander in onto the puck. Nylander and Matthews trying to help out. Matthews has it centered in front. Nyes gets it back to the point. McCabe down low, and they score! Matthews on the side, and the Leafs have a 2-goal lead. 2 incredible passes to set up Matthews for a basic empty netter. Matthew Nyes, Joe, from the left wing circle, gets the puck and backhands it back to the right point. Onto the stick of McCabe, who quickly spots Matthews wide open to the left of the Carolina goaltender Bussi, and Matthews just has to turn and slide it home to give the Leafs a 4-2 lead. For Matthews, his 9th goal of the season and 4th in the last 5 games. 9th goal of the season, but just his 13th point. He has 4 assists to go with the 9 goals.
Maple Leafs goal. He's 9th of the season.
And the Maple Leafs, who were doing their best impersonation of Muhammad Ali and the rope-a-dope, punch it free, and McCabe and Nye set up Matthews, and the Leafs have a 4-2 lead. McCabe around back of the net, playing it ahead for McMahon, unable to get it out initially, but now McMahon pokes it to center. Tavares trying to get it the rest of the way, and he has, backhanding it down into Carolina territory. Nystrom plays it to the line. Myers couldn't keep it in the first time, shoots it in the second, but it's a delayed offside. And now here Carolina with a pass in on the right side. A pass in for Aho was about chest high, and he did well to knock it down, but couldn't do much with it once he did. Back come the Leafs with a pass ahead. In over the line, Tavares trying to drive the net. No, and it went off the stick of Joshua and went wide. Played back down into the Carolina zone. A lead pass at center, intended there for Robinson, didn't work. Defenseman Mike Riley played it ahead, but couldn't get it in over the line, and the Leafs do. Right wing side, Michelli passing into the slot, and it's going to be covered up by the goaltender Bussi on a scramble play into the blue paint.
Boy, Michelli was able to get it to Sammy Blais going to the net on the far side. But there was a wall in front of the Carolina net. But boy, Matthias Michelli does wow you with his passing, doesn't he?
He's creative.
Yeah, you'd like a little more consistency, but
draw to the left in the Carolina zone. Leafs lead 4-2, 7:23 to play, second period. Carlo keeps the puck in with a long shot that was knocked down in front, and now a lead pass, and Nikolai Ehlers has a breakaway. He's in a goal! Stopped by goaltender Hildeby, but another glaring error by the Leafs as Ehlers has a breakaway from the red line in.
I mean, this game could easily be 4-4, 5-4 Carolina.
Could be 10-9.
And between Hildeby, what, 3 or 4 breakaways here in the second period?
Well, and 3 goal posts.
But I mean, that's
way
guys not reading the play.
Draw in the Toronto zone to his right. And the Leafs win the face-off. Benoit banks it off the glass to get it out. And then it's stolen, and the Leafs have a break. And over the line, looking for Tavares in front of the net, but it was knocked away as Yarncrook looked like he might have had a chance. Back down into the Toronto zone. Tavares off of Yarncrook. Get it out. Good play by Carrier to keep it alive on the far boards. Back of the net, coming right out in front of the net, and a shot. That was stopped by Hildeby. And now Nylander finds Nyes, who's going to try and play it to open ice. Working there to get around Nystrom. Played around back of the net for Willie, but he can't control the puck, and it'll come to center ice and down to the lead blue line. Boy, they are trading chances here, aren't they? Nylander after it, knocked down on the play. He looks at the official in disbelief. And now the Hurricanes have it in their own zone to get it ahead to Carrier. He is drilled at the blue line by Myers. In the slot, and a slap shot taken there by Alexander Nikishin is swallowed up by Hildeby, and the 21st shot on goal for Carolina stops play with 5:35 to play. Leafs lead 4-2. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Wherever Canadians raise a glass, you'll find Molson. There's a good reason for that. When you've been in Canada for over 230 years, you get around in the cups and fridges of Canadians, generation after generation. Molson has a beer for everyone. So raise a glass or cup or whatever you pour your Molson in, because it doesn't matter what it's in. It matters where it's from. Canadian, export, ultra, excel, Molson. Everyone in.
Must be legal drinking age.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses, with customer service reps on the line to get you what you need when you need it 24/7, 365 every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
With City TV Plus, you can stream more of the shows you love from television's biggest brands.
We're going the distance on entertainment.
FX, HGTV, Bravo, Food Network, Discovery, ID, and more.
It's all killer, no filler.
There's a whole lot more drama, more true crime, more lifestyle, more reality.
Can I have the crazy pill that y'all took?
There's more to stream and more to love.
Oh my God, I love it.
Get more entertainment with City TV Plus. Start your free trial today at citytvplus.ca.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey
on Sportsnet 590 The Fan
and the Leafs Radio Network.
I did not realize that the Hockey Hall of Fame has a beaver mascot named Slapshot. I did not know that.
You got to get on the Hall of Fame newsletter.
Apparently.
He said, I did not.
Friendly-looking beaver. Not that most beavers aren't friendly looking. Puck down in the Toronto zone around back of the net. Aho spins it back to the blue line. Just kept in there by Mike Riley. Sent back from whence it came. Svechnikov on the far side, but stolen by Roy. And the Leafs are out at center. Backhanded into the zone by Joshua. Roy carries it around back of the net. Tried to send it back to Joshua, who is cutting to the goal, and it is intercepted, and Riley starts back for Carolina. He'll fire it around the boards into the far corner. Bouncing puck. Michelli unable to dig it free. Here the Hurricanes centering, and a quick shot went well wide of the net. Leafs slow to get to the loose puck. Nikishin got it back of the net. Centering pass alone in front of the goal, trying to get a shot away. It's blocked. The rebound trickles wide of the net. Big crowd in front of the net. The Leafs knocking down the shooter, but now a shot from the blue line deflects wide. Goaltender Hildeby didn't know where it had gone, but it is kept in at the blue line by Nikishin, and now by a long shot is gloved by Hildeby. 23 shots on goal for Carolina, a dozen for the Maple Leafs, but it's Toronto leading 4-2, which makes you wonder, what could they do with more shots on goal?
I mean, even against Boston, right? And the comeback win against Pittsburgh, they were outshot 17-3 in the second period. And here, I mean, a lot from the outside, but also 4 breakaways that produced 3 goalposts here in the second period. Shot.
Karam's off the goalpost there. Is that another one? It was kind of going behind. It wasn't
the outside of the post.
The outside of the post. Now Hildeby unable to cover it up. Well, no, I lied. The official thought he had it underneath his blocking glove and blew the play dead.
Almost think the way things have gone, and you know, the Leafs still 2 shots on goal here in the second period. Austin Matthews scored on one of them. But it's just the defensive breakdowns that have been baffling how frequent they've been.
Another clearing attempt, blocked. Miller then loses it, racing after it. Bobby McMahon into the near corner, carries around back of the net, works it to the far boards and cycles it back behind the goal, but Robertson couldn't get to it. Now Riley trying to keep it in, has it go out I thought he was outside the line when he shot that in, but to no avail. But the Leafs get it again. Here's Tavares back to the point. In along the boards, it comes in front of the net. Tavares couldn't get a shot, kept in, and a whistling shot taken by Myers went 10 feet wide of the net. Robertson unable to come out of the corner with it, but the Leafs do. Now to Tavares, wrist shot coming, and it's gloved by Brandon Busey.
And the win a couple of weeks ago in Philadelphia, 5-2 win.
Shot down the ice off a face-off win by Carolina, and goaltender Hildeby will leave it there. Stahl up trying to force the issue. Oliver Ekman-Larsson getting it on the wing, and now Matthews will start out of his own zone. Hits the line and gives it off to Nylander, who gets in across the line, but it's broken up and shot out and down the ice by Carolina. They get a change of penalty-killing forwards. Minute 26 left in the power play, 1:38 left in the period. Drop pass, Nylander coming out of his own zone to center. Hits the blue line with a left wing feed for Nyes. Taken to the boards and sent around the wall. It'll find Tavares. Tavares against the boards, freed it up. It comes back to the point. OEL into the slot area. Tavares can't shoot it. Gives it back to Oliver Ekman-Larsson into the corner. Far side centering pass for a shot. Rebound on top of the net.
Well, this has got to be a penalty here. Joe, the Carolina defenseman knocks the net off its moorings. They've got to call this, and I think that's what Craig Berube is screaming at the officials now.
Sure he did. He forcibly set it off the net.
It's a delay of game penalty. Sean Walker with the puck up in the air. Now, I don't think the puck was going to come back into play, but it's still delay a game.
Yep.
Now, the officials can decide, was the whistle going to go because the puck was on top of the net anyway?
The puck comes to rest on top of the net. I'm in the process of blowing the whistle before it's shoved off. There's not a penalty.
All right. So there's the explanation. But you know what? It wasn't on the top of the net long, was it?
No, it sure wasn't. And Walker definitely pushed the net off its mooring.
And now the other side is the puck wasn't coming back into the crease. You know, it bounced on top and was sort of heading behind the net, if anything. But that's a pretty good way of acknowledging, okay, I saw it.
Leafs have not had a two-man advantage power play this season. Draw to the right. Won cleanly by Tavares. At the blue line, Tavares gets it back in the slot. Near side, Matthews doesn't shoot it. Now he does! And it's off the blocker of goaltender Busey. Kept alive now on the near boards. Matthews to the blue line. One of the Carolina Hurricanes has broken his stick, and the Leafs have an advantage there. Here's Tavares in the far corner. In front, fanning on it, though. It comes wide of the goal. 30 seconds left in the power play. Leafs after it again. Back of the net, Tavares. Tavares double teamed there. Nyes is able to free it up, and it'll come back to the blue line to Willie. Nylander with a pass in, and it's going to be swallowed up by Busey as the Leafs tried to take advantage of what turned out to be a 5-on-3.
The Carolina player was complaining, but he had slashed. Matthews had the puck, and he had slashed Matthews' stick, and his own stick broke. So I'm not sure what the argument would have been.
Was there, right? Yeah.
The Leafs almost. Willie Nylander throws it to the front, and John Tavares with a redirection, but not really angled in a great way to be able to tip it past the Carolina goaltender.
Jordan Martinook is player who broke the stick. 16 seconds in the power play. Tavares is getting waved out of the face-off circle. Matthews will have to move in.
So they're leaving the number one unit out.
29 seconds in the period. Leafs win the face-off. Riley with a pass in, and Matthews tried to give it back to him, but it was knocked away, and the Hurricanes send it down into the Toronto end. Nylander intercepts and sends a right wing pass for Riley. He hits the line and in with a feed to the left wing side that was broken up there by Aho. Cleared in, and a long shot by Nylander was knocked away. 6 seconds left in the period. Aho gets to the Leaf blue line, fans on the shot, cleared into the corner, and time will run out. It has been an eventful evening through 40 minutes. The Maple Leafs will carry a 4-3 lead into period number 3.
Well, the Leafs really have become a team where no lead is safe, right? For either team. They've had trouble controlling games, keeping the lead, and they've managed to claw their way back into a lot of games when, obviously the Pittsburgh game 3-0 into the third, and they came back and won that. But still a mystery that the defensive play has been a struggle. But 4 breakaways in the second period. The Leafs very fortunate to be holding on to a 1-goal lead.
13-8, the shots favor Carolina in the period. That does not count 4 posts, if you count the one that was kind of going
outside.
Wide. At any rate, it's still a lead, 4-3. We'll step aside. Ailish Forfire and Justin Cuthbert coming along. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Sam Roberts is obsessed with pro wrestling, and now he's got a show to talk about it on Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7.
Everything that we do here is for a reason, I swear. I'm not just meandering until I get back to the start point.
Experience Sam Roberts' unique takes.
There is no way you can tell me that Dominic Mysterio at this point in his career is not a Bart Simpson babyface.
Get inside the storylines with Sam Roberts, Monday through Thursday, noon Eastern. Not Sam Wrestling Live. Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7, channel 156.
Under review.
And stop making excuses for bad goaltending. And is it bad? Is it horrendous? If you don't win because you don't make a save or two, yeah. The nature of it is the goaltender is responsible for 90% of the action. He's got to stop the puck. Why do we keep making apologies for goaltending? Stop it.
Under review with Nick Kern. 11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
Winnipeg Jets head coach Scott Arniel. Has that number changed with the Olympics compressed schedule for Connor Hellebuck?
He keeps pushing for 82 games, certainly with this year and what's kind of going on. It is something that we seriously have to look at, and if we want to play well into June and to make that run to the Stanley Cup, I need a guy that's going to be able to be fresh for that whole stretch.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
We deliver the NHL.
Head coach of the Carolina Hurricanes, Rod Brindamore. What's the mental approach to get to the dance?
Every year you start at the same spot as every team, right? Like you're at the bottom of the mound. And when we get to that point, if we can, then we can knock down the final kind of stretch eye where we haven't been able to cover, So let's make the best out of every day and play our ass off every night and see what happens.
Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Hey, Jim Rome here. What's cracking?
Hi.
Hope you're enjoying the game. And when you're not taking in a game, find us on Sirius Channel 161, XM Channel 206. In fact, we'll be there every weekday afternoon, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you've got something you want to break down from this game, you know where to find us. Just make sure you have it taken. Don't suck.
Step your game up.
That has never changed. In fact, the show has never changed. We're just back home. And it's great to be there. Sirius 161, XM 206. See you there.
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio.
But the other thing that Connor McDavid has earned is he's earned a voice in what happens with the team. Where are you guys headed? What are you guys doing? I need to know, because he made it very clear in his comments, I want a chance to win and win again. That doesn't mean he gets final say. They need to listen to Connor McDavid. They need to express their views to Connor McDavid.
Get the latest opinion and analysis you need on the home of hockey, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM
and the Leafs Radio Network.
Matthews has it centered in front, nice, gets it back to the point, McCabe down low, and they score! Matthews on the side, and the Leafs have a 2-goal lead!
Welcome back to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. A 4-3 lead for the Maple Leafs after 40 minutes with the Carolina Hurricanes. Heavily outplaying them for most of that period. We'll get into it. But the first 10 minutes was the ice was tilted. And the Leafs dug their way out, got a nice goal, but they came within one here with Carolina Hurricanes to make it a 4-3 lead for the Leafs after 40.
Yeah, I would say fairly fortunate are the Maple Leafs to be 1-1 in that period and 4-3 up in the game, given how it went. Yeah, you mentioned it. Thoroughly outclassed, I thought, in the first 10 minutes at the very least. The numbers bear that out. Scoring chances were 9-1 in favor of Carolina. Attempts 14-2, and shots 6-1 with 3 posts hit. So really... Well, I mean, that bears out the scoring chances, 9-1, shots being 6-1 with those 3 posts. So it seemed like Carolina was definitely going to break through, and then the Leafs got one offensive zone entry and a couple passes flipped around, and all of a sudden Austin Matthews is tucking home his 9th of the season pretty comfortably. So we talked a lot about the defense on both sides, but and specifically with the Maple Leafs, but the Carolina Hurricanes are missing a bunch of dudes tonight. Yep. They're missing Jacob Slavin, who we talked about in the pregame a lot, and a couple other guys who'd be considered regulars, and I think that is showing itself with some of the zone coverage with Carolina. Yeah, that first 10 minutes, it was a lot of hill to be stopping, a lot of breakaways. I think there's 3 breakaways. I mean, it had to be at least 2, so I'm going to say 3. Opportunities for the Hurricanes in that period. You round up.
Yeah, I'm rounding up. It felt like it was heavily lopsided. But he stood tall on a lot of really hard opportunities that the Leafs kind of left them out to dry defensively. I don't know if it was giveaways, but there was like at least a few odd man rushes and breakaways that he was having to, keep the team in. And then you mentioned it. They get one offensive opportunity. They score a nice one. That one was Austin Matthews. And it was pretty much a tic-tac-toe. Nyes setting it up with a backhand pass over to, was it McCabe?
Jake McCabe could have wired it, but then realized Matthews
nice little
just
pass
sitting by
shot,
himself alone.
And then he tucks it in. So he had a big celly, too, and it was a good one for Matthews to get one on the board, too. So, yeah, 4-3 now. Should we mention who scored the 3rd goal for the Hurricanes?
Well, this is your time to shine. I can tee you up.
No, it's good.
Leave it to a Keswick native to score in his home-ish town.
Yeah, Sean Walker and I played for the York Simcoe Express together growing up, boys AAA. We were defense partners for a period of time. And he scored tonight at Scotiabank Arena, and I heard a little pop from some of his family in the corner. He's a Keswick guy. I'm a Sutton gal, and so shout out Georgina.
So what? Those are 3 different hamlets or towns. They just
Georgina encompasses.
They blend together to form AAA boys hockey teams that are dominant?
Yes, called the York Simcoe Express. So if you lived in York and Simcoe, you could be on my squad, and you unfortunately didn't make it.
It's an exclusive. It's an exclusive little triumvirate of towns,
nonetheless,
forming a very good
it's
minor
just
hockey
good
program.
that, I had a little soft spot that my old teammate scored at Scotiabank Arena, but that's enough. Okay, 4-3 Leafs. Let's keep it that way.
That was very cool.
No more Sean Walker.
He
also had a moment where he knocked the net off, and he was getting booed. I was like, he might be at the heel here.
Let's do both sides of the Sean Walker story. After it was 4-3 off the stick of Sean Walker, Keswick's own. There was a Maple Leafs power play. By the way, the Maple Leaf power play buzzing in this game. Like, they look legitimately very dangerous in this game, and they were late in the period. And Sean Walker, after the puck had flipped onto the top of the net, or was bouncing towards the top of the net, basically used a forearm shiver to knock the net loose. The referee did explain that he was in the process of blowing his whistle as the illegal action from your former defense partner was occurring, and therefore there was no penalty on your former defense partner, Sean Walker. So
yeah, I think he was smart.
Yeah, a little crafty play.
That was a Keswick boy right there.
Crafty play from a guy from I can't generalize the Keswick.
No, you wish you could.
The Keswick guys, I'll let you do that. But a crafty play by
that's a crafty Keswick kid.
And he got away with it.
And he did.
And if he didn't get away with it, it would have been a boneheaded play.
It would have been, but nonetheless. The power play, though, you mentioned it. It looks really great, that top line. I think it was different for me because Willie was the shooting threat. He was the one winding up looking for one tease. He was at the top of the key at one point, running the point. It feels like with more Willie Nylander involved in being I don't know, scoring threat in all different positions. It's changed a little bit. Their puck movement's way faster. They just look more dialed tonight. It's a great thing to see. We talked about in our pregame show about having that, that, I don't know, urgency and the second power play unit and, who's better, who cares. I'm really enjoying the experience of watching the power play tonight, so let's hope they keep it that way.
Yeah, Nylander on a hat trick, a pair of goals tonight. Maybe that's part of the reason.
Yeah, he's hungry for that.
But, maybe that's got to be the story of the season, or one of the stories of the season. Nylander with 8 goals so far. Matthews scores his 9th. If these guys are just going toe-to-toe in terms of scoring goals and trying to one-up each other in terms of an own internal race for the goal-scoring ground, that would be great, right? So you see Matthews answer with his 9th after Willie had pulled even, and actually John Tavares is 9 as well. So all 3 of those big guys are scoring goals, and that's not really been the problem, scoring goals. Yeah, the power play's been a bit of a problem, but scoring not as big of a problem for this Maple Leafs team. It's just keeping the puck out of their own net. And so far, Carolina's making it pretty difficult with 25 shots through 2 periods.
A little internal competition to get more power play time. I'm not mad about it. I think it would only elevate unless people get selfish, but I think this team's looking to find a spark on the power play. So, let's take a quick break, and we'll get back to you with the out-of-town scoreboard. We get you set for the third period. It's 4-3 Maple Leafs after 40 minutes. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Okay. First question. When does Desjardins Insurance suggest you switch to winter tires?
Below 7 degrees. Easy.
Nice. Next, what's a smart way to save money on your home insurance?
Switch to Desjardins Insurance and you could save up to $900 when you bundle home and auto. Easy.
Get insurance that's really big on care. Desjardins Insurance. Here for your home, auto, life, and business needs. Certain conditions apply.
Bet365 is an official betting partner of the NHL. Must be 19 or older, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit ConnexOntario.ca. T&Cs apply.
Hockey. It's taken over our basements, our driveways, and our backyards. And at Rona, we wouldn't change a thing. That's why we make sure your home can take any hits hockey throws its way. So hockey can keep taking over your laundry rooms, your living rooms, your garages, your kitchens. Make sure your home is ready for hockey season with Rona. Build it right, build it Rona.
With City TV Plus, you can stream more of the shows you love from television's biggest brands.
We're going the distance on entertainment.
FX, HGTV, Bravo, Food Network, Discovery, ID, and more.
It's all killer, no filler.
There's a whole lot more drama, more true crime, more lifestyle, more reality.
Can I have the crazy pill that y'all took?
There's more to stream and more to love.
Oh my God, I love it.
Get more entertainment with City TV Plus. Start your free trial today at citytvplus.ca.
Wherever Canadians raise a glass, you'll find Molson. There's a good reason for that. When you've been in Canada for over 230 years, you get around. In the cups and fridges of Canadians, generation after generation, Molson has a beer for everyone. So raise a glass or cup or whatever you pour your Molson in, because it doesn't matter what it's in, it matters where it's from. Canadian, export, ultra, excel, Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
The fall get-together is here at Canadian Blood Services, which means it's the perfect time to grab your crew, hit up a donor center, and experience what you get when you give together. It's not just about donating blood and plasma. It's about showing up and feeling like we actually did something.
Jesse, you're up.
Awesome. Be right there. Book an appointment today at blood.ca and experience what you get when you give. Canadian Blood Services. Who's saving who?
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
The Crowds in front, they score!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Welcome back to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, the Maple Leafs Radio Network. It's 4-3 for the Leafs after 40 minutes, hosting the Carolina Hurricanes on the Hockey Hall of Fame and fun. It's a fun hall to be in and full of fame. night tonight here at Scotiabank Arena. Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard presented by Bet365. Download the app and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Sounds like a new tagline. Fun and full of fame.
I think that's something.
Earlier today, the Chicago Blackhawks had a 5-1 victory over the Detroit Red Wings. Connor Bedard continues his surge with 3 points. Kings beat the Penguins 3-2. The Mammoth are trailing the Ottawa Senators 4-2. Michael Amadio has goals in 4 straight games and 6 on the season, former Leaf. The Stars have a 2-1 lead over the Seattle Kraken. Tyler Seguin and Wyatt Johnson with the goals in that one. It's still scoreless between the Flames and the Wild in Minnesota. And still to come tonight, Avalanche and Canucks from Vancouver, and the Jets will be in Anaheim to tangle with the Ducks.
All right, 20 minutes left. Leafs with a 1-goal lead. What has to happen, Justin?
I think like the majority of the play cannot occur in the Leaf zone. Credit to Dennis Hildeby, he's played really well. The Carolina Hurricanes have been like basically what we expect from them. A lot of shots, a lot of attempts, a lot of pressure. It's getting the best of the Maple Leafs at some points in this game, but the Maple Leafs counters worked really well, and Dennis Hildeby has withstood a lot of pressure in this game so far.
All right, 21 minutes left. Maple Leafs with a 4-3 lead after 40. Joe Bowen and Jim Ralph will have the call to the third period next. You're listening to Most Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Hey everyone, it's me, Megan Kelly. I've got some exciting news. I now have my very own channel on Sirius XM. It's called the Megan Kelly Channel, and it is where you will hear the truth, unfiltered, with no agenda and no apologies. Along with the Megan Kelly Show, you're going to hear from people like Mark Halprin, Link Lauren, Maureen Callahan, Emily Jashinsky, Jesse Kelly, Real Clear Politics, and many more. It's bold, no BS news, only on the Megan Kelly Channel, Sirius XM 111, and on the Sirius XM app.
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio.
But the other thing that Connor McDavid has earned is he's earned a voice in what happens with the team. Where are you guys headed? What are you guys doing? I need to know, because he made it very clear in his comments, I want a chance to win and win again. That doesn't mean he gets final say. They need to listen to Connor McDavid. They need to express their views to Connor McDavid.
Get the latest opinion and analysis you need on the home of hockey, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. Nothing puts you closer to the action than Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
St. Louis Blues General Manager Doug Armstrong, Alex Steen, speak to where that's at, the succession plan. And
he is going to be the manager after this season. You have to know when your expiration date is with the group, and I think it was time to be honest with myself that the organization itself needed to change, and we're excited to have Alex ready to take over.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
MLS, NWSL, the USL, and more covering the beautiful game here at home. American soccer lives on Sirius XM FC 157
Network.
Leafs carry a rather precarious 4-3 lead into the third period, and here is a stat that kind of shows you what the game has been like, including blocked shots and missed shots. Carolina Hurricanes have had 50. Toronto Maple Leafs have had 27. Shots on goal favor them 25-18, but territorially they have certainly dominated this game, I would think.
Yeah, the Leafs have been back on their heels. By the way, just the 4th time the Leafs have taken the lead into the third period this season. But they are a perfect 3-0. Joe, this is only the 2nd time Carolina's trailed after the second. They're 0-1.
Puck play underway. Puck down in the Toronto zone. Chipped along the boards but doesn't clear. Kept in by Walker. Pass on the wing. It comes in front of the net, and it's knocked to the far boards. And Roy will play it out at center, but unable to reach it there was Dakota Jai, the Carolina Hurricanes, their third. So I told you it was offside.
Well, I got a high-sticking guy in the building. I'm not going to name him. Who told me they looked at that as well.
Really?
No. I don't have a guy.
You don't have a guy. We don't have guys.
No, we don't have guys.
I have a guy. Face off to the right. Matthews was pitchforked to the ice. Leafs are able to keep the puck in. Nyes with a pass in. No, Matthews tried to redirect that around Busey, and it was just knocked wide of the net. Leafs have to wait for teammates to get onside. They'll regroup it back, and now Nyes brings it in over the line, looking for Nylander that didn't connect. And now the Hurricanes get it out at center. Seth Jarvis working in on the right side, and a shot was high and wide of the goal. Far side, Matthews unable to reach it. Riley will trap it as it comes around to the left wing, and his efforts to get it ahead to Bobby McMahon breaking failed as it was shot right back down into the Toronto zone. Now as it's cleared up the wall, it goes over the boards and into the Toronto bench. And a face-off is going to come in the Toronto zone to the right of goaltender Dennis Hildeby.
Well, maybe when you consider the injury to Chris Tander from a Leaf standpoint, Jacob Slavin not in the lineup, nor is Shane Goss to spare, or Jalen Chatfield for the Carolina Hurricanes. That's a lot of talent on the blue line that is missing from this game.
Well, and we talk about the Leafs' defense, and I mean, I thought that Tanev was the team's most valuable player a year ago, to be honest with you. And he does make a big difference. Blocking shots, handling things, settling things down in the defensive zone. There's a giveaway by Benoit. Kept alive now with a long shot by Svechnikov, steered wide of the net. Into the far boards now, played around back of the net, Nikishin, and it's picked off by the Maple Leafs, and now Jake McCabe skates to center. Shields it as he gains the line and gets down the left wing boards, but had it knocked away. And the Hurricanes have it in their own zone with a lead pass. Here's Seth Jarvis in on the right side. Drilled to the boards there by Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Played around the wall, and Domi trying to get there to chop it out. Manages to get it under control. Finds OEL, who carries straight up ice to center. He's going to fire it in around the boards. It'll go to the right wing side as the Leafs are in the midst of a change. Toronto 4, Carolina 3. We're into the third period. Shot by Riley deep into the Toronto end. Along the boards, cut off there by Stankoven. He'll play it into the corner. Played back of the net by the Maple Leafs' Blais. Riley unable to trap it. Now Carolina doing a good job of working it on the outside. Back to the point. Walker had it knocked away. Leafs can't get it out. Good play by Stankoven to keep it in. A centering pass knocked away, and finally backhanded to center ice by Toronto, but shot right back into the zone again by Carolina. Nothing fancy here by Carolina. They get it in deep and then hope for a turnover, and so far it's worked pretty well. Here's Nystrom at the right point with a shot that was knocked away. Leafs get it to the line, don't get it out again. Played around back of the net. Myers hammers it on the wall, but right there was Stankoven to block, and now it is cleared to the line. Again, not out. Around back of the net, centered in front of the goal. A shot scores. Taylor Hall ties the game at 4s, and it was just a matter of time, you had to feel.
How many times did the Leafs touch the puck in their own zone without getting it out? And Taylor Hall is the one that will find the back of the net for the Carolina Hurricanes. Hall scored in the first 2 games of the season, but that is his first in 12 games since. You know, he had Philip Meyer fanned on it. Then he got it to the Willie Nylander. He couldn't get it out. And you're right, it was a matter of time. It wasn't even, you didn't even feel like if it was if, it was when. Because the Leafs kept volleyballing the puck right back onto a Carolina stick in their own zone. And the Hurricanes are too good not to take advantage.
And here they are again in over the line with a drop pass. Working off the wing is Hall, and that is swallowed up by Hildeby on a sharp angle shot by Taylor Hall.
Yeah, the defensive play, and like I said, in the 2 shifts leading up to the goal, the Leafs had to have 7 or 8 touches, whether full control or tried to chip it out or whatever, 7 or 8 touches in their own zone and unable to get it out or make a play. So a 2-goal lead for the Leafs is officially evaporated.
Former Edmonton Oiler, New Jersey Devil, Arizona Coyote, Buffalo Sabre, Boston Bruins, Chicago Blackhawk. Taylor Hall has seen a lot of the National Hockey League. Here's Matthews siding in on the wing, and then as he tried to move from his backhand to forehand, had it knocked off his stick. Played back down into Toronto territory. Game tied 4-4. Myers getting it up on the boards. Benoit couldn't get it out. Now along the boards, they fight for it. Still in the Toronto zone, though. And it is pushed to the open side. And backhanded to center ice by McCabe, but again turned over. Right back into the Toronto zone it goes. Back of the net for McCabe. Quickly around on the wall. Leafs try to get it out, and a long pass bounces ahead. Played in over the line by Roy. He gets in along the boards. Back of the net. Michelli couldn't get it in front. Neither could Dakota Joshua. Now Roy settles it down. Off to Morgan Riley. Closing, and he tried a pass for Joshua instead of shooting, and a stick got in the way and deflected it well wide of the net. And then a penalty is coming to Carolina as Nick Roy ends up getting pitchforked to the ice. Jordan Stahl is a non-believer.
Yeah, and he and Nick Roy are having a conversation. Walk sort of holds out his hands like, Bud, what else am I supposed to do? And tripping is going to be the call. The official was right there. And the Leafs. And then a power play goal from Willie Nylander in the first period.
Leafs coming into the period 1 for 2 on the power play. This is their third. And Hall from Blake and Stankoven is the tying goal. So a big power play opportunity here. Matthews, Nyes, and Nylander. Oliver Ekman-Larsson gets the face-off back to him. Feeds it off on the far side. Tavares, a tip pass to the near side. Nylander trying to outfight his man. Puck is still free. Played to an empty corner that Nyes will get to first, but is tied up there. The puck comes free, and it's going to be cleared out and down the ice by Carolina. Out of the goal is Hildeby to play it into the corner. And out comes OEL to center. He'll play it off now to Nyes, who drops it back for Matthews. Matthews coming to the line and in on the right side for Tavares. Back behind the goal for Matthews, centered in front. Willie slid it by the goaltender and out the back door, missing the empty net. What a chance!
Boy, back-to-back nights in the third period. Willie Nylander looks like he scored a big goal. Hit the crossbar in the post last night against Boston. Down a goal. And there, as the whole empty net on a great move, but slid it way past the far post.
Fired around the boards and ends up going into the
day. Remember, one in Boston, one in Calgary.
Calendar day.
Calendar day.
Yeah. Otherwise, we never played 2 games back on
same
the same
date.
Date. Okay. Yeah. Just trying to help you along.
Well, I think you were trying to figure that out in the fly.
I wasn't. I don't remember that day. Yeah. It was really something else. Domi being waved out of the face-off circle.
He was really good in the afternoon game.
Yes, I guess he was. Roy will take the face-off for Toronto and scrums it, but it goes to the far boards, and the Leafs get there first. Swinging it around the wall, it'll come. A centering pass, and then shot out and down the ice by Carolina immediately after Michelli tried to find a man in front of the net. Riley coming out of his own zone. Ahead it goes to Michelli. Played to the far side for Roy, but it's going to be offside, says the linesman. And the face-off with 13:39 to go in the third period. And 35 seconds left in this power play is coming in front of the penalty box door
and
outside the blue line.
Leafs are going to get the number 1 unit back on the ice.
Draw one by Toronto, and Nylander will slide it around the wall to the near side. Matthews outfights his man for position, but then can't come up with the puck, and it's brought to center ice by Eric Robinson. Hidden on the left wing, and a shot that was stopped. The rebound in front of the goal, and just diving to get it up to Nyes was Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Tavares in on the right side, works to the far right wing boards and into the corner. Double teamed over there. Matthews trying to get it free. Came right out in front of the net, but no one in a blue uniform there. And the penalty will expire as they get it in over the line. Carolina does in on goal, and that stopped in a penalty coming against Toronto.
Boy, this was Nylander and Matthews back. And Nylander lost his man going to the net and latched onto him, or that would have been a 2-on-1 break for Carolina.
So the Leafs will go to the penalty kill, and the game is tied. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Nothing puts you closer to the action than Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
St. Louis Blues general manager Doug Armstrong, Alex Steen, speak to where that's at, the succession plan, and
he is going to be the manager after this season. You have to know when your expiration date is with the group, and I think it was time to be honest with myself that the organization itself needed to change, and we're excited to have Alex ready to take over.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91.
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio.
But the other thing that Connor McDavid has earned is he's earned a voice in what happens with the team. Where are you guys headed? What are you guys doing? I need to know, because he made it very clear in his comments, I want a chance to win and win again. That doesn't mean he gets final say. They need to listen to Connor McDavid. They need to express their views to Connor McDavid.
Get the latest opinion and analysis you need on the home of hockey, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind, wrist the line, and walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, scores!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM. Leafs Radio Network.
After not scoring with the man advantage, the Carolina Hurricanes now get their opportunity with the power play. 1 for 4 on the night, so this is number 5. Draw to the right of Hildeby. Tied at 4s. Being outshot 31-19. Ottawa leaning in against Sebastian Aho. Well, he was, and Aho's just been waved out. And Svechnikov will move in. And the draw won by the Hurricanes. Leafs had been dominating the face-off area, but they don't here. And a shot in a goal knocked by Hildeby. Cleared on the backhand, but not out. Another shot goes off a leg. Great opportunity to clear with time and space, and just fanning on it. Now here's Roy. He'll get a hold of it this time, and down the ice it goes.
Like, everything just seems to be such a chore, doesn't it?
Played back into the slot and the blue line. This bogs down, but now Aho gets it in on the left wing. A little toe drag move, gains the zone. Shot in on goal, down is Hildeby. Where's the puck? And he's got it under control under his glove.
Only 4-4 in this game. Carolina's hit 4 posts, and Dennis Hildeby's been great. Kenny Holland, who's now the general man, went onto his back and threw his catching hand arm across the goal line to sweep out any debris should it be there, but nothing really emerged behind him. He had a stick dropped to the side of the net to his right.
He had no idea where it was. And at that point, neither did the referee, but it was underneath him.
Yeah, I think this might have trapped it or thought it had squeaked through under his left arm, his catching hand.
Yeah. Draw one by the Hurricanes again. They get it down into the corner. The penalty is over. And Riley gets it ahead and now pushed out at center ice for Domi racing after it. Domi trying to find his man in front, and Blais couldn't get there to pick up the loose puck. McMahon chases his man, and now here are the Hurricanes back the other way. Blake gets a pass on the far half boards. Back to the slot. A shot blocked in front of the net, and the Leafs, Domi will get it out at center, but not into the zone. It's going to go over the boards right at the penalty box and go out of play with 10:26 left to play in the period.
He scored the opening goal, then went down one, then took a 4-2 lead in the third period. Or late into the second period. And Walker scored at 16:51 of the second to make it 4-3, and then Taylor Hall with his third of the season at 3:20 the third has his tie.
Shot down into the Toronto zone. Hildeby pumps it around back along the wall, cut off by Martinook. Down into the corner again. Oliver Ekman-Larsson battles his man, but the puck comes free and it comes back to the point. Here's a shot. That deflected off a body. Another shot goes well wide of the Leaf goal. Leafs still can't get their hands on it to get it out of the zone. Kept alive by Carolina. Another shot stopped on the short side, and Matthews starts away with it. He'll carry to center. Matthews hits the line, works in with a lifting puck into the corner for Nyes. Nyes around back of the net. Matthews can't come up with it. And Martinook got it to the line, but not out. Leafs pump it back in along the boards. Would be nice to have a little time down in the offensive zone here for no other reason to give Hildeby a little rest. Back to the point it comes. A pass high off a stick. Goes into the screen off Bobby McMahon's stick. And a face-off will come in Carolina territory when we return. 9:29 left third period. The Leafs 4, Carolina 4. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Bet365 is paying out before the final buzzer.
Check out Bet365's early payout for NHL hockey. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 3-goal lead, you get paid no matter the final score. And with early payout, you could be on your way to a winning parlay.
Early payout, just another reason why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
An official partner of the NHL, must be 19 or older, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca. Terms and conditions apply.
Okay, category is ways Desjardins Insurance goes the extra mile to make insurance easy. First question, what are some of the things you can easily do online or in the app?
Oh, view your policy.
Add a new driver.
Oh, update your address when you move?
Easy. You guys are good.
Get insurance that's really big on care. Desjardins Insurance. Here for your home, auto, life, and business needs. Certain conditions apply.
Hi, everyone. Julie Stewart-Binks here, along with former NHLer Nate Thompson. Join us on Energy Line as we share our takes, stories, and surprise guests every week. Patrick Kane, 3-time Stanley Cup champion. Team USA head coach Mike Sullivan. 6-time Stanley Cup champion Mark Messier.
With over 800 NHL games, I know a couple guys.
Biz didn't have Twitter. No one knew who he was, so I called Whit, and I'm like, how's Biz? He was like, I'm telling you right now, you're going to hate him. Then he'll be your best friend.
Listen on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts,
or wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Key to Victory is brought to you by Rona. Rona knows the game we love is hard on the home, so make sure your home is ready to take on hockey season. Visit Rona.ca for more details. Build it right. Build it Rona.
Well, key to victory, goaltending. The Leafs needed Anthony Stolarz was pulled for indifferent play for the first time as a member of the Leafs last night. Hildeby went in, and even though he's given up 4 goals, it's been 38 shots, 4 goal posts. So I would say if it wasn't for goaltending, this game, believe it or not, could be worse than 4-4.
Long pass ahead for Bobby McMahon. Got it in over the line, but Robertson couldn't support him. But now McMahon trying to play it back to the point. Gets it to Morgan Riley. Riley with a wrist shot going wide, and it was deflected into the corner by Busey, the goaltender. He really has not been a factor, has he?
No, and doesn't look like he's 100% on either, does he?
No, and the shot from the blue line stopped by Hildeby. He was the architect of his own demise there, playing it away, and it bounced over to the far boards. Now shot right back down into the Toronto end. Round on the wall for Tavares. Played back for Morgan Riley, who strides back at the net, finds his defense partner. Carlo got it ahead. Michelli turns the puck over at the blue line, and here we go again. They're a foot away from getting it out, and now they're in the Hornets' nest again. And finally, it's Doug Free and Michelli again, unable to get it across the blue line. And finally they do, but Aho brings it right back in again. Aho to the left wing side. Walker swept at it, but missed it, and the Leafs start back up on the right wing. Roy will chip it in over the line and go into the forecheck, trying to get a hit on the defender, and did, but the puck comes around to the near wing, and Svechnikov will get it free, and now a pass, look out, deflecting into the Toronto bench with 7:56 remaining to be played in the third period, and we are tied 4-4.
Nelson's had 5-2 win in Philadelphia. Leafs give up 3 to the Penguins, 3 to the Mammoth, 5 to the Bruins, and now 4 here to Carolina. And this is where the stretch gets tougher. This is only the third game the Leafs have played against a team that was in the postseason last year. They beat Montreal opening night and lost here at home to the New Jersey Devils a couple of weeks back.
7:56 left to play, third period. Matthews wins this face-off. Pass broken up. Here are the Hurricanes in, and they score. Another giveaway, this time by Jake McCabe, about 5 feet from the Toronto blue line. And making him pay is Logan Stankoven. And the Carolina Hurricanes are full marks for a 5-4 lead.
And this has just become so predictable. I mean, the Leafs win the draw outside the blue line, right onto the stick of Jake McCabe, who tries to go up the middle. It's picked off, and 3 seconds later, it's in the back of the net.
12:13, the time of the goal for the second time in this contest. Carolina owns the lead. They led 2-1 in the third, and a centering pass for Kalle Järnkrok didn't connect, and now brought in over the net. That looked like it was offside too. Here's a drop pass on the right wing, looking down low, coming right out in front, stopped there by Hildeby, as the Carolina player just marched right out of the corner. Shot down the ice by Toronto, and an icing call is going to come as a result. Oh, it's mind-boggling. I mean, the giveaways is just a mind-boggling stat.
You put a little string together, just the last 2 games. You know what happened against Boston last night? The number of giveaways that led to easy goals by the Bruins. And like I said, even there's so many times you can count 5-6 touches on one play in their own end, and they're unable to get the puck out over the blue line.
I don't know if we don't see this game a little differently than maybe the official statistician. But would you believe that Carolina has given the puck away more than the Maple Leafs have?
No.
Well, 12-10. 10.
Well, we can go by the severity.
Yes, I suppose. Now here's Michelli in over the line, right wing side. Roy had a man going to the front of the net, but chose not to try to get it to Brandon Carlo, and it is taken back by Carolina, who play it down into the Toronto end. A long lead pass for Michelli. Michelli in over the line, around the boards, but no one supporting over there. And again, Carolina launches it high down into the Toronto zone. They'll bank it out and deflect it to the Carolina blue line, but here are the Hurricanes getting it down into the Toronto end. Tavares can't get it out initially. Rolls in on goal. Knocked away there by Hildeby. Puck goes around back of the net. Trying to come out in front. Stankoven gets it back to the point. Our wrist shot from an angle was stopped. And the rebound, again, not cleared initially, but now Tavares will get it out over the line. Robertson couldn't break with it, forcing Riley to chase back now into the corner and get it up on the wing for McMahon. Bobby McMahon to center. Off Tavares is sticking into the zone. Goaltender plays it away and gets it out at center ice.
Shots on goal, by the way, Joe, here in the third period. 16 for Carolina, 2 for the Leafs.
Shot down into the zone now, and it's not like one team didn't play last night. Carolina was in Buffalo. Played high to the line. Knocked away. Nylander chopped at it. Shot in on a bounce that is handled by Hildeby. And now a long lead pass for Nyes. He got in over the line but ran into a traffic jam there. Able to keep it in around back of the net for Nylander. Feed for Matthews didn't connect. Pinching here is the Leaf defense. McCabe keeps it into the corner. Nylander along the boards. Matthews hovering out in front of the net, but they can't get him the puck. And it is cleared by Carolina down into Toronto territory. 4:48 to play in the third. The Leafs trail by a goal. McCabe off Yarncrook into Carolina territory as the Leafs change. Time and space here for the Hurricanes to get it out. Riley shoots it right back in again. Far side, Yarncrook got it back towards Domi, back of the net, trying to come out in front of the net. It did come out, but unable to get a shot away. Blade did a nice job of getting it there. Now brought in offside by Carolina. And a face-off will come in neutral ice with 4:15 to play in the third. And the Maple Leafs in danger of losing back-to-back games here as they trail 5-4 to the Carolina Hurricanes. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The best of live sports talk are on Sirius XM. Weekday mornings, hear Dan Patrick at 9 on NBC Sports Radio, Channel 85.
Running backs are the best supporting actors. They can't win Best Actor.
At 1, it's the Stephen A. Smith Show on Mad Dog Sports Radio, Channel 82.
Check me out for my passionate, unfiltered take on the world of sports.
And then at 3, it's the Mad Dog, Christopher Russo.
Anybody you ask knows I'm 100% right.
Hear from legends of the game, only on Sirius XM and the Sirius XM app.
I love it. Just talk.
Under review.
And stop making excuses for bad goaltending. And is it bad? Is it horrendous? If you don't win because you don't make a save or two, yeah. The nature of it is the goaltender is responsible for 90% of the action. He's got to stop the puck. Why do we keep making apologies for goaltending? Stop it.
Under review with Mick Kern, 11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
Winnipeg Jets head coach Scott Arniel. Has that number changed with the Olympics compressed schedule for Connor Hellebuck?
He keeps pushing for 82 games, certainly with this year and what's kind of going on. It is something that we seriously have to look at, and if we want to play well into June and to make that run to the Stanley Cup, I need a guy that's going to be able to be fresh for that whole stretch.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. The best hockey lives here.
Burns gets it back. Stick handles to the backhand. Moves in front. Score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Leafs Radio Network.
4 minutes and 15 seconds to play. Third period. Toronto trailing 5-4 to the Carolina Hurricanes. And the Hurricanes win the draw. And they're going to roll it into the near corner in the Toronto end. Riley pins his man, but the puck comes back to the point. Unable to get it out was Joshua. Riley on the far side, flipping it along, but Stahl cuts that off. He'll work back into the corner. Carlo got a piece of it, but Stahl has it again. Wiring it back to the point. Long shot blocked. And Michelli can't get it out. Riley again reverses the puck. Time and space now for Brandon Carlo. Got it ahead. And they'll play it back as the Leafs are in the midst of a change. It's the other thing, when you spend as much time in your own end, when you finally do get it out, you're gassed and you're trying to get a line change. So the only thing you can do is give the puck away because you're shooting it in.
A number of passes from their own end that they're trying to force. Right? You know that you're trying to force it up the middle. You're trying to force it through 2 or 3 players. And that leads to the turnover and everybody going the wrong way.
Played into the Carolina zone. Nylander couldn't block a clearing attempt by the goaltender, and the Hurricanes get it to center and then down into Toronto territory, and Jake McCabe turns. He'll find Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Off of Matthews, sticking into the zone it goes. Goaltender Busey playing it into the corner, but it is going to be poked out at center ice. Oliver Ekman-Larsson races after it to get it back to McCabe, and now it's returned, and OEL skates in on the left wing. Drop pass for Nyes. Flipped into the corner. Defenseman is back of their goal. 2:53 to play. Net still filled with Hildeby yet. And now here's a 3-on-2 rush for Carolina into the slot area. Nystrom, a shot right on. Big rebound through the goal crease and out the back door. And in now swallowed up by Hildeby with 2:39 to play.
That 3-on-2 turned into a 4-on-2 in a hurry.
Bouncing puck in front of the Leaf goal. Knocked down their sticks all over the place. Robertson has to go and find his. And the puck goes back to the goal, and Carolina unable to reach it. Now Bobby McMahon trying to skate it out. Gives the puck away on the left wing side. Kept in there by Carrier. Dished by Stahl. Carrier's long shot is blocked in front of the goal. Played. The Leafs get it out, but again, they're in need of a change and have no legs to go into the forecheck.
40-second shift in their own end.
Rink wide. Here's a chance now for Carolina. Shot, and it is deflected into the screen by the Leaf defenseman Oliver Ekman-Larsson as Svechnikov let it go.
19-2 shots for Carolina here in the third period as they are looking for the first come from behind win in the third period this season, or when trailing after the second. And the Leafs in danger of losing for the first time when taking a lead into the third.
Draw to the right of Hildeby. Minute 44. And the Leafs hoping to get an extra attacker on here. Again, a pass ahead at center, but Nyes was stationary. There was no way of going anywhere. Now he has to skate all the way back into his own end. Riley gets it ahead. Nylander was tripped. And it's going to be an icing call. There were arms up into the air, but they didn't have an armband on. Face-off coming all the way back into the Toronto end.
I almost feel like Carolina will pull their goalie here just to keep the puck in the Leaf zone for the last minute 23.
Draw to the right of Hildeby. Matthews lost the face-off, and Carolina will try to play keep away here, and they have it in the near corner. Back along the boards. Martinook trying to pin it there. Stahl gets it back to the point. Now a long shot stopped by the goaltender. The puck is still free in front. Stahl with a shot is stopped. Carrier with the rebound. Can't get it free. The Leafs are pinned in their own end. They're not going to get any kind of momentum going in the right direction because they're going to be gassed just trying to play it off in their own end. A lead pass finds Matthews. Nylander's gone to the bench. Here's Nyes pumping it around on the far side. Down into the corner it goes. Matthews can't get it. It'll come to the blue line. 6 attackers on the ice now for Toronto. Along the boards near side. Trying to keep it in there is Tavares. Aho plays it out at center. Oliver Ekman-Larsson back at his own blue line. Up ahead for Tavares. Tavares one-hands it down into the corner. Nyes is gassed. He's just been on there for way too long. 20 seconds left. Into the corner and around the boards, back of the net. Matthews can't get it in front. Hustling after it. A centering pass. Nylander denies. Shot it along the goal line. No hole. 7 seconds left. The shot. Goaltender Busey was way out of position, but they're going to get it out into the center ice area, and the horn will go before an empty netter can be deposited. 45-20. The shots on goal.
2 shots for the Leafs here in the third period. And coming up with the 3 stars This is going to be a difficult one. I guess maybe we'll go Taylor Hall with the game winner for Carolina. His first since the second game of the regular season is star number 3. Willie Nylander, 2 goals for the Leafs, will slide him in at number 2. Logan Stankoven, a goal and an assist on the night for the Carolina Hurricanes. And the Leafs struggles continue. And, you know, it's...
I'm going to read the tag here first, Jimmy. Then I have some statistics that you'll find interesting. The 3 stars brought to you by Desjardins Insurance. Get insurance. It's really big on care. Maple Leafs, shots on goal, attempts blocked, attempts missed the net. A total of 36. Carolina Hurricanes had 88. 45 shots. Sorry. I'm mistaken. It's 89 as they had a shot on goal. 46 shots on goal, 27 misses, 16 blocks. 89 to 36 attempts at net. Is that, it just spells you the difference. How the Maple Leafs managed to score 4 goals, I don't know.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
You know, it's not one of those games where you just say, well, you know, they deserved better. I mean, every game seems to be a loss in spectacular fashion. And, you know, the game against Pittsburgh, yes, we can go back to Willie Nylander, puts one off the goalpost crossbar with in a 1-goal game in the third period last night. Maybe they get something out of it that goes in. Could have restored a Leaf lead, or it might have been a 2-goal lead in the third period tonight. Went around, open net, missed the nets, even Matthew Nyes at the end. But you're going 46 to 20, 2 shots on goal in the third period. I mean,
and you can't.
There's no excuse for it. You just can't
both
say.
Both teams played last night. Yeah. It's not like you can fire that excuse out.
And it's just more of the same. It's the giveaways in their own end. If you looked at the goals given up just over the weekend, put together a highlight pack, you'd go, oh my God, the blatant giveaways, they call them unforced errors, right?
Yep.
And the Leafs have been burned by them.
There's a lot of work to be done before the Boston Bruins entertain the Maple Leafs on Tuesday night. We'll have that action for you. But here, a 5-4 victory. The Carolina Hurricanes beating the Maple Leafs in Toronto on Hall of Fame evening. We'll step aside. Ailish Forfire and Justin Cuthbert coming your way. You've been listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590. The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio.